Indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me here, for sharing the space, for showing up, for creating a crack in your busy schedule, to be here. Genuinely, it means so much to me. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. For what it's worth, it's a good Monday. Very good Monday. Yes, indeed. At least I had a good Monday. Pretty productive. Woke up, relatively early. Literally first thing in the morning, I see that I've been tagged by a tech friend, and I see there's a Haywire Hill tag that he tagged me, or Haywire Hill stream that he tagged me in. I go find myself in the space, and it's with Uncle Becky and Aunt B in front of a fire dancing, and that's literally the first message that I get forced into my brain, if you will. Just this genuine display of love for one another, and I'm genuinely just so grateful to be there. So happy to be in that moment with all of the friends. We shared love, a genuine understanding of one another, and the stream ended. I went into the rest of my day, basically made myself something to eat, some yogurt with some nuts and some pumpkin seeds, a mango, and a little bit of dried meat. And then the rest of the time I spent writing. And I was planning basically to write on the Skillshare class I've been writing on for a while now. And I sat down and I started writing, and I felt I should be writing something else for some reason. And I remember that my mom asked me to write my sister a speech yesterday, and she sent me the topics, if you will. One of the topics were cracks. Krake is the Afrikaans word. And I have to write the speech in Afrikaans. It's so difficult. I legitimately feel like I don't have the words to express as much as I want to say in Afrikaans. And it was a very interesting pursuit of trying to write. And I mean, I got like 840 words written, and I still feel like there's a lot to be improved on. But the message that I was bringing in the speech was one about cracks, and it's the same message that I want to bring in today's stream as well. Maybe to educate myself further on what I want to say in the speech. Maybe the speech is educating me on what I want to say in stream. Maybe both, maybe neither. But yeah, so you friends know where today is coming from. Thank you for joining me. Hey, gobbity goo, are you first? Hello, Meld Morsiar. I like them trees. The trees like you as well, Gob. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bear. It's so nice to have you here. Katie is joining us as well, saying good morning. How are you doing today? Sorry to have missed yoga. Sleep was erratic last night, so I slept in. Hope you are not stressing. I mean, I'm stressing a little bit because our internet has been pretty wacky, during today. So let me tell you a little bit more of what I did. After I spent some time writing, I felt like I wanted to stop. I wanted to get away from it, wanted to actually free my mind for a little bit. Hey Nova, thank you for joining us. Ermias plur to you, friend. Mm. Beautiful Ermias plur to you indeed. And I basically, took off from my writing, and I spent some time answering some messages. And one of the people that I was talking to today is Scorpio, and me and him, literally just were text walling each other, and it was this beautiful exchange of recognition, of noticing one another, of encouraging one another to keep doing what we're doing, talking about philosophy, talking about being ourselves, talking about our parents, talking about being a dad one day, talking about how old we are, how old we feel we are. Like, we had so much to talk about. And he said something that really resonated with me as well, where he was like, I'm generally in a pretty good mood. So it's difficult for other people to make me feel better or make me uplift me even more. And there was so much upliftment happening in that space, between one another, that it was just a genuine pleasure, like a genuine pleasure, just having a conversation. I like basically were talking to him from about 11 to 12, and something in me got prompted to go outside. So I turned my computer off. I go outside. I walk to the bocase, is what we call it. Like, we have this little external house area where my mom bakes. I go there. I go to this little room where we have, a few wheat plants drying, and I try and turn the light on, and the light doesn't go on. And I assume, oh, guess the light is broken. I take one of the branches out, I get myself a little sieve, and I basically rub these buds on the sieve, and then the little trichomes falls through, creating technically something that is a little bit stronger than normal weed would be. And I ended up mixing that with some of the millie, and I have didn't smoke any of it, obviously, but was feeling like I wanted to do something for myself for when I can again. And in that moment, I also realized that it was not only a feeling of wanting to do this for myself, but it was perfectly in tune, in synchronicity with the power going out at 12. So power goes out, don't have power for like 2 hours, finish up with what I was doing with the, sieving of the bud. And then I go back to my room, and it's hot today. Like, I don't know if you can see, but this thing is wet just to keep me cool. It's so hot today. So I retreat to my room. Pippi is literally, like sprayed out on the floor, like on the tiles, just trying to get some heat sucked out of her. The fan isn't working because there's no power, obviously, and I'm just like melting on the bed. I actually ended up taking a scarf as well, wearing it completely and throwing it over my back, just chilling out. And I was like, okay, like I've been taking cold showers for a while now, so I'm like, oh well, guess I'm gonna take my cold shower for today. And instead of doing that, I decide I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. And it wasn't 5 minutes later, and I hear a hooter, if you will, at our gate, and someone to come and check the power meters was here. He comes. Well, I accompany him to go and take the meeting, take the meters, take the numbers on the meters, and there's like a few wasps in that little room. And as soon as he walked in, they started attacking him. So he ran out of the room, and I was like, goodness, I'm so sorry. I'll dry. And I walk into the room. I stand next to the box. I give them all of the readings. And those wasps, like, they're not even flinching. They're just like chilling. I'm like, why are you like this? Why are you like this, wasps? Me and him have a good exchange. We talk a little bit about his job, talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, the obligatory mentioning of how hot it is, obviously, here in South Africa. And directly after that, I had a little bit more of a chat with Scorpio. Went and had my shower, showed up for my yoga session, and then the Wi-Fi was just an extreme spice machine. For a while now, my Discord on my laptop is just not working for some reason. So I was like, okay, before yoga today, I'm gonna uninstall Discord, reinstall Discord, and that should fix it. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? And I do that, and I like go through the whole process of uninstalling it, go to the the site, download it again, install it, and it goes through the process of like, yeah, downloading updates, installing updates, and then it gets stuck on that little starting screen again. It's spinning around and around and around. So I'm like, okay, guess I'm gonna do it the old way. Go on my phone, save the Zoom link, go to my WhatsApp, post to a number that I haven't, or a friend's number who she's no longer using. Go onto my computer, WhatsApp web, click on the Zoom link, get into the Zoom call, and like I try to speak to Orion for a little bit, and it's like I see Orion either being extremely zen and super still, or connectivity issues. And I realize, oh, it's connectivity issues. It drops, I reconnect, it drops, I reconnect, it drops. I remember that I wanted to ask my mom to get or to look if there is, a uninterrupted power supply. UPS, right? Yeah, uninterrupted power supply for our Wi-Fi. So, like yesterday, if the power drops, the Wi-Fi can continue at least, so we can continue these streams. Asked her for that, and she's like, okay, it's fine. And then directly after that, I'm like, please, please, Mama, please call our internet, provider, and ask them, something is wrong. Like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. We have a business line. At least that's what our internet service provider sells it as. So they come, they ask you like, I think $500 to install a point-to-point connection. So one little dish on our house, and then a whole dish of our own on the actual tower, and then they connect to one another. You pay a premium up front to get that, and then you pay pretty much a premium, to have the internet per month as well. We pay $120 a month for 25 megabytes up, 25 megabytes down. And you friends living in America, that is not exactly a good deal, but it's usable, especially for what we're doing right now. And I do a speed test, and it goes from like 25 to 1 megabyte, but it's like it does it like this. Yeah, 25, 1 mega, 25, and I start seething, knowing that I'm gonna have to stream, in like 10 minutes. Well, at that point it was like 40 minutes. And I feel like these so many stuff that it's just like scratching at me, cracking me up a little bit. And it was just beautiful. It was genuinely beautiful to be in that space. And interestingly enough, just before all of this kind of happens, Ryan shares with me a little bit of stress, if you will, that he was going through, anxiety that he was going through, because he had an important gathering, you can say, sound healing yesterday. And he just did his yoga practice, and after that he was so calm. And I was like, well, I need to get calm. Guess I'm going to try the yoga practice. And I tell Ryan, I'm going to continue on by myself. And I couldn't. Brother Ryan, I couldn't. I don't know how you do it, dude. How do you do it? I think maybe I need to get good. I need to really get good and figure out how to control myself even when I'm anxious, because I cannot stop moving if I'm anxious. I still feel kind of anxious. I hope the internet is good enough that it's working. Thank you for letting me rant for a little bit. Cracks. Yes, cracks. Before we get into cracks, butt cracks, cracks in the wall, cracks in our personalities, cracks in bowls and fixing them with gold, cracks all around. Sorry, Nova. Ermias Plur indeed. Oh, poor dog, poor Meltmore. It's okay. How much degrees is it? It's about like 36, 37 right now. South African internet is whack. Oh yeah, the internet sometimes, my internet sometimes, it sucks. Your internet is fine. I mean, it should be fine. Like we're paying business prices, like literally, yes, business line. We use you as our internet service provider to provide for our business. Like imagine trying to run a business without internet, or at least without internet is usable. I'm getting schooled. Please begin to cultivate the deliberate practice of recognizing that you are in a field of energy that is your perfect servant. Oh my goodness. Begin to cultivate the deliberate practice of recognizing that you are in a field of energy that is your perfect servant. All of it. It's a servant as well. You know, this energy, this frustration, the cracking up of what we want to do, all of it is a it's a servant to us. Thank you again, Gav. Lisa, so nice to have you here, my friend. Free Panda, it's been a while. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, friend? Ryan, Meltfam, grateful for this connection to you all. So grateful for the connection as well. So grateful. Thank you for joining us here, brother Ryan. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be, completely present for today's yoga session. And it was interesting to me as well, because as I was working on, like seething these little trichomes off of the bud, I was thinking to myself, looking forward to the yoga session, thinking about showing up for that as well every day and how I've been consistent and consecutive with that as well. And just having these kind of like obstacles get in the way, I was like, okay, okay, Lord. Oh, fuck. Oh, I have felt so shitty today. My stomach is still hurting, by the way, and the pain is so much more consistent now. Stomach pain all day, even after eating a meal. Tomorrow, I'm getting an ultrasound and blood test. There we go, Nova. I'm happy to hear that, friend. I'm so happy to hear you're going and getting some help, or going to a doctor. Maybe there is like a, like the thing I'm thinking is like a stomach ulcer. So by identifying that, you can start taking steps to actually fix it. I hope it does get fixed soon, my friend. Thank you for letting me know. To see if anything is wrong with my stomach. I mean, 2 weeks of stomach pain isn't normal. I would have, lasted a whole one, well, probably a little bit more than longer than a day. At day 2, and my stomach is still hurting consecutively. I'm like, something's wrong. Like, this is not the way the things are supposed to be. And on that note, my headaches are gone. Whoa! I woke up this morning and I knew, okay, I'm fixed. As fixed as I can be, at least. The dancing made me happy. Me too. Are you talking about Aunt B and Uncle Becky's? No, dude. Like, just watching Aunt B and Uncle Becky dance together was this, like, a resounding, like, dong of hope. Of like, yeah, you can calm down. Love is true, dude. Love is freaking true. Sorry to miss you this morning. It's completely okay, my friend. Yeah, here she is, Aunt B herself. So nice to have you here. Have you ever watched a dandelion thrive in a crack in the concrete? Amazing and inspiring. Oh, when it rains, I didn't even think about that. But now that is going to have to go into the speech as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that to me. Yeah. So, okay. The speech as it is right now, I have like some bullet points that goes the way we see cracks right now as something broken, something ugly, something to be fixed, yada, 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 yada. Then I go into talking about like kuntugi, something like that, a Japanese word for fixing something that is cracked with gold. And instead of, discarding the bowl and getting a new one, you fix it with the intent to bring out beauty in it through its imperfections, and as an indication, as a calling to awareness of resilience. And I basically go into like a little few paragraphs of talking about that, talking about seeing beauty in the cracks. After that, I go into talking about us as human beings cracking as well, under pressure of the world, under pressure of what we're supposed to do, who we're supposed to be, what we want to do in this world, and how the faltering of that can feel like a cracking of ourselves. And because we're so frantic about cracks, in a way where if our wall is going to crack or something, we want to fix it as soon as we can, because we might fear that someone else might see that crack and start to assume things about us, if you will, be it in our personality, be it in our environments, be it in our consistency, etc. And then after that, I go into this understanding that the you that you are, and I actually say ek is dieselfde ek wat jy is as jy sê ek. I am the same I that you say I am. Something like that, like the direct translation is a little bit wonky. But I hope at least that this speech lands, and that bit of the speech kind of goes into this feeling of these cracks that can form in us can be an indication as to the stressors that we're going through in life, the pressures that we're going through in life, and instead of seeing these cracks as something ugly, we can and something to be covered up as fast as we can follow these cracks down to where they started, to where the initial problem started, to where our initial pain, if we're cracking under pressure in a certain way, actually started. And then the last thing that I want to go into is putting our fingers in the cracks, pulling away at the layers, that is cracking, and actually looking at the thing that is within us always. Like and I go into talking about the ego being this thing that our awareness keeps pasting onto itself, and eventually, either through non-maintenance of certain parts of our egos, they start to crack, or by extreme pressure in our environments, those egos can start to crack. And by noticing that, you can notice what you don't want, what needs to be flushed out, make the crack bigger, if you will, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be changed, or maybe that crack needs to be redirected in another way. And I hope the speech lands. It's really difficult writing Archifia, I think it's Archifia speeches, because they have a bunch of rules, and you have to have like certain like writing structures, address people in a certain way, have a start and a conclusion. I haven't written a speech in a long time, but I'm having so much fun doing it. Thank you. Be here with me, friends. What do you feel? What do you feel now? Like Natalie actually gave me some more perspective. A crack as an opportunity for something new to grow. Like where our lives can be so structured that a crack in that structure can actually give us an opportunity to blossom like a dandelion. Isn't that? Puppy is sitting next to me. Whoa. 2 weeks. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm worried that it's nothing, and nothing will show up in the ultrasound, because the doctor I spoke to wrote it off and was thinking I was just giving paracetamol, even though I said it makes it worse and my stomach hurt more. Luckily, my mom was there with me and said, you can do an ultrasound because it's too long and it's not getting better. If a doctor, dismisses your symptoms, yeah, see, dude, like I would straight up sue him. That's not okay. To tell your patient, have this generic drug for this pain that you've been experiencing for the last 2 weeks, instead of doing further testing, trying to find out more about your underlying ailment. That is not cool, dude. Like, you call yourself a doctor without covering all the bases, bruh. Please, man. Man, I feel like I'm running at the million miles per hour. I wish I did yoga. I really wish I did yoga. You know what? This is our yoga. Isaac, just hello everyone. Glad you're all gathered today. Glad to see that smile, Mel. Glad to have you here, Isaac. Thank you for putting a smile on my face, Brother Bear. Ninja Nanner is here as well. On B, of course. Decided to sleep in a bit. Hoping you got a little rest. I'm happy to hear that. Insanely inspiring. Right on B. I didn't even think about it. I don't even know why I didn't think about it. But now I'm so happy that I gained even more perspective to write about. I'm a dandelion thriving in the crack in the concrete. I can see it. I can completely see it, Gob. I just feel there's a part of me that, in that context, dandelion being something that you pick and blow out. I'm trying to attach too many meaning to this. Cracks are forming in my argument. Yeah, he literally dismissed what I said and ignored it like, bruh. I had to repeat ourselves because he was not listening. And after we walked out, I heard him saying, oh, goodness, like he didn't even want to do it. Dude, oh, well, how is that a thing, dude? How do you get to the point where you're a medical professional and you don't do your job? Like just huh? Like that makes me angry, dude. I'm not gonna get angry actually. I feel like anger wants to be felt today for some reason, but I refuse. No, no anger. You said not anger. Not gonna give you any attention. Beautiful process. We tossed a bit last night. We rushed this morning, and I forgot it's hat day for Bubby. Hat day, of course. Think I'll come back into town to drop one off. Like, do everybody wear hats at school? Or do they like go outside and they need hats? Like, what's the context of that? I would love to know, on P. One of those horrible doctors you get because everyone else is booked out. You need, like, oh man, you know what? I set him free as well. I forgive him for his negligence. Maybe he's going through some stuff. Maybe, you know, he has been dealing with stomach issues where people, ate something bad and then he just wanted to prescribe them paracetamol and it helped previously. Maybe that's his bias. So, you know what? I'm not gonna assume anything. Not gonna take it personally either. I hope you aren't either, Nova. Thank you for taking care though. Most doctors in America are doing it for the money and title, not for the sake of actually helping people. I'm really for you had to deal with one of those, Nova. I'm sorry you had to deal with one of those. I'm so sorry as well, Mariah. Like that's not okay. And you're so right about the title thing. I want to show you something cute. Ranting. So right about the title thing, where people are like, yeah, I'm a doctor, so it means I have this power. You have to address me as such. But then, it's about the money, it's about the title, it's not about the actual human beings that you can help. Quite literally, save lives. Nah, save lives? Nah. Money? Yeah. Title? Power? Yeah, 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 yeah. Smash, smash. Smash, 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 smash. Oh, smash, 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 smash. Oh, smash, smash. Man, I envy this little creature sometimes, yo. I've been really, 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 really envious of the way that they live their lives. Look at this. Look at her. Just. I'm sorry, YouTube friends. Like you probably could see on the Reddit, but like there's absolutely, I don't think at least, nothing going on inside her little head. Just it's bowl. I hold bowl. I chew bowl. Yes. Oh goodness, almost let my ball fall, but I didn't. Man, I love her. She's giving me hope, giving me calm, giving me the wholesome, cute vibes. Oh, shamash, shamash, shamash. Okay, here we are. Cracks. I feel like the cracks are just fractaling everywhere, having a hard time consolidating. Finding some structure. So sweet. It was so cold on the walk this morning that my toddler was angry at the wind touching her face. I could listen to complaints of the heat all day. Wasn't that sold Arnold -15 with the wind get ya? Wasn't that cold? Only -15, I'm guessing. Only -15, yes. I've never experienced -15 in my entire life, Natalie. I can't even imagine. I'm happy that they get to stay warm at least, get to be angry at the wind blowing in their face. Like, I feel, me personally, I like the winters in South Africa. It gets at most -5, and I get to be super snuggly. But I have never experienced true cold, like -40 temperatures. What is that word? Sleet, black ice, no snow, no. I've never seen any of that, so I guess I'm pretty biased or uneducated, naive maybe is the right word. Heather, thank you for joining us, my friend. Frankie Marie, so lovely to see you as well. Thank you so much for that. I feel terrible because he did not want to go today. Maybe that will cheer him up. I hope so. I hope so. Man, I remember I would use anything as an excuse to not go to school as a kid. I really hated it. I don't think there was a day Like the only day, so I wanted to say, I don't think there was a day that I was excited to go to school. The only days that I've been excited to go to school was on my birthday because my mom bakes, so I could, take cake to school, which was to my small, little child mind a moment of popularity because I was so unpopular as a kid, and it was something I would look forward to. And then the other days were where we just weren't gonna have school, like there was some sort of sporting event and we were going to be on the sports field instead of in class. It's so brutal, just imagine, like, and I don't have to imagine because I went through it, but imagine a whole system where every single being that goes there despises it, wants a reason not to be there, wants a way to get out of it. Like that makes me sad, and I genuinely hope that the school system changes to the point where that will no longer be the case as well. It's okay. I'm glad my mom was there and she made it all work out in the end. Not for her, I would have been prescribed generic paracetamol written off and then told him it didn't help. Like, I wanna share some duality that I'm experiencing right now, Nova. Like, I don't know how old you are actually, but do feel free to tell me. Not that it's important, but there was this exchange like where me and Christian got COVID, well, got sick, let's say first, and he went to a doctor, the family doctor that they've been using for a while now, and he got a COVID test. And like a week later, Christian's dad calls him to let him know that he has COVID. And Christian like kind of loses it. He's like, why the hell is my doctor calling my dad to tell my dad that I have COVID? And I was also like, dude, what is wrong with these doctors? And now that your mom had to be the one that stands in, actually makes a point of, trying to get you proper care, dude, where's the respect, yo? I'm a human being. I'm a grown ass man. Treat me as such. Thank you. Just because I'm in my 20s doesn't mean I don't deserve I deserve less respect. You have a tick. You have a tick on your foot, little girl. Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. Man, that thing is deep. There we go. Man, I got some hairs alongside that, which I don't like. There you go. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for that. There are rural Canada internet rates. Those are rural Canada internet rates and speed. So it's almost the same in Canada when it rains. Like that kind of disappoints me, to hear that actually. What kind of cracks has life in store for y'all today? How's everything going? A bunch of cracks, and you can think of it as cracks in the way we usually do things, cracks in our schedule, cracks in what we thought was gonna be. I didn't know I wasn't gonna have power. I didn't know there was gonna be someone that wanted to check the meters. I didn't know that the internet was gonna be whack. So all of these things were cracks in my day, and I could have fallen into those cracks, broke my legs, but instead I was just kind of skipping alongside them, all dandy like. How about you, Talia? Any cracks? Kelly, thank you for joining us, my darling friend. It's so nice to have you here. Remember that those hot Texas days hit. I will be glad to take heat complaints. Yeah, I feel there's so much synchronicity between Texas and South Africa as well. Like we are not on a infrastructure level, prepared to deal with extreme cold. Like our houses don't have heating in them. Like the only heaters we have in our house are like little plug-in element heaters and those flat things that you like screw into a wall, and we have like one of them in my brother's room. Like that is the heaters we have. So goodness, like fortunately South Africa is hot, so it doesn't come to that. But like Texas literally went into a massive, what do you call it, crisis, I guess, because of unexpected weather. Oh, climate change. Climate change. Something I wonder how people even have a job in their specialized careers. Like, especially since we expect these people to know what it is they're doing, you know? Like, we're literally, if you have, like, if you go to a doctor, you're putting your life in the hands of someone else. Like, this dude is supposed to be able to help you if you have some sort of medical issue. Like, the future we're moving into, we're not going to see doctors anymore. Our doctor's going to be probably AI, you know, where we're going to like spit in the tube. I don't know if we'll draw blood ourselves. Spit in a tube, pee in a tube, maybe some poop in a tube, and send that to our, you know, local analyzer. And then that local analyzer is going to be like, oh, wait, dude, this, and this is wrong. And then you're going to get whatever you need delivered right to your house. And that can sound a little bit dystopian, but at least you're going to get the treatment that you deserve. You know, you're not going to be written off as like, oh yeah, maybe this is wrong. Have this generic drug. We're actually going to know what's wrong and get stuff that's gonna help for what's wrong. Ay, ay, ay. You silly thing. I am so ready for spring. I can hardly deal with Texas cold, so I cannot imagine what y'all go through. I can, like, straight up cannot imagine it. Like this, my brain doesn't have the means to reference what they might be going through. Cracks in our foundation when we're worn thin. I feel I'm a little bit worn thin. Your friends might notice. I feel a little bit erratic. The shaking monkey in my brain is like coming out. Stop it. Stop. Okay. I'm taming that momentum it's putting in my brain. Yeah, dancing with him. Let's go, monkey. Oh, hope you're well. I have to go now. All the best to you all. Natalie, thank you for sharing even a moment of your time. I appreciate it. Genuinely. I will take the cold personally. I think it's easier to get warm when you are cold than it is to get cold when you are hot. I agree with that, Katie. And I remember, you know, at one point in my life saying that to the context of, you know, what am I supposed to do? Take off my clothes? And, you know, that was like the last resort of cooling yourself down. And now these scarves are the new thing for me, where I just, you know, throw a bunch of water on them, and then as the wind kind of like, I don't know if it works directly that way, but it basically becomes a heat sink. A lot of the heat that we produce, you know, travels through our necks as well, so it helps. It helps a lot. Try it, genuinely try it. If it's a super hot day, get yourself a scarf, cover it in water. You will be surprised. Honestly, I just feel out of it. My stomach is hurting all day, and I'm tired as shit. I couldn't even sleep properly because of my stomach these past 2 days. And I'm still feeling, I'm not sure if I can sleep. Nova, like, I try. You know, it's probably like a close to 2 a.m. again where you are. Try to sleep because arguably there is something that needs to be fixed. And sleeping is going to be the best way to try and fix it. I'm not trying to be like, hey, you are sick because you're no. I just want you to feel better, friend. I'm so sorry that you're going through this pain. I cannot tell you, you know, how much it hurts me. Like, stomach pain is also one of those things that can devastate you. Like, it feels like it's this node that pulls you in, you know, and just like keeps contracting, sucks out the life from you. You know, the joy of existing, being able to just lay and feel like you are relaxing. Like, I've had these stomach aches where you're like curled up and you're like trying to hold on to yourself and you're like heaving. Dude, that is no way to live. I'm so happy that you actually went to the doctor. I'm so sorry that you found or got a doctor that was less than ideal. Hi, my darling. How are you? Meow to you, Sir Video. Again, Talia. It's so nice having you here. Heath Ledger look-alike. Technically, no, because Heath Ledger is dead. So, since I'm still here, Heath Ledger looks like me. I respect and love Heath Ledger so much. The way that he, you know, left this world still devastates me. The last words he said still devastates me. Thank you, friend, for pattern recognizing Puffin. I was literally just thinking of you. Do you work today? I wonder as well, Servinia. Let us know. Jovan, so nice having you here, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the space. I'm great. Life keeps moving, and I keep running behind, trying to keep up. Hope you and the family are doing well this morning. Thank you, Kelly. We love you, my friend. Keep running, and if you feel like you need a break, then we'll sit down with you. Take a breath, catch up a little bit, and then we can start running again. Know that we will be willing to stop for you if you need to tie your shoes or catch your breath. It's not too painful, but it gets to the point where I'm not comfortable and it's bothersome because it does kind of hurt and get in the way. It's noticeable. Have you tried, distracting yourself, Nova? And if you have, what have you distracted yourself with? Should have been, but I'm not so well. Melt, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Chuchi. Chuchi. Months? Almost like, what? Oh, how long has it been? It's been multiple months. It's so nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for joining us again. How are you doing? How's life been treating you? How have you been treating you? Has there formed cracks in your way of living, in your personality, in your immediate environment, in your job, in your hobbies, in your relationships? Please do share with us if you're willing to. I love that story of your day, Estian. Thanks for being so committed to showing up for us. Thank you, friend, for showing up with me. It's one of the things we had a chat about as well, me and Scorpio, of this journey of showing up. And I said to him, and he was like, how do you do that? And I was like, as long as I show up, I show up. And he like puts it in quotation marks, like melt more. As long as I show up, I show up. So as long as we show up, Ryan. So I appreciate you, Fred, for showing up with me, genuinely. Maybe you don't need to keep up. Maybe you feel the need to be keeping up, but you are in fact at the perfect pace. I agree, Nova, but I'm 19 minutes behind on my Reddit comments. So I feel like I'm not keeping up. And it's everywhere, technically. If cracks don't appear, you can't see how deep something goes. The cracks of failure are inevitable yet temporary. The depth gained holds permanence. I think of cracks as fractals as well now, like it quite literally is a fractal. It tries to find the path of least resistance in, forming itself. I can't distract myself. It's just there, blissfully hurting. You know what? I encourage you to use that word. Like, it might not be correct, but I feel it might be manifesting. Yes, blissfully hurting. Like, think about this, and this is a this is a little bit of a yikes, but there is, I don't know if it's, oh goodness, no. Some weird looking bug that flies and kind of had the body of an ant landed on, like more wasp like actually. Small, like body size like an ant, but body shape like a wasp. Anyway. Blissfully hurting. Okay, yeah, there we go. So there is this theory that the only way to truly experience living is on the end of a spear. So like balancing or like having your stomach with a spear kind of like set in you when you're like balancing on that spear, because you're going to be in such a sheer amount of pain and you'll have to be so focused to keep your core tight so the spear doesn't actually go through you. And I know this is a big yikes, I'm sorry, but that would be ultimate living. And I'm not encouraging you to do that, obviously, but it's this like mental experiment of like, that is what ultimate living would be. So I feel like you're almost going through that in the same way. Even though you are going through this pain, you are blissfully hurting. Like, you are so aware that you are right now, Nova. Like, you cannot for a second even distract yourself, because you just are like, here I am in pain, here I am in pain, I'm in pain, I'm here in pain, I'm here, I'm constantly, dude. I was being sarcastic, but I'll take it. Dude, like, even if you're sarcastic, you're still co-creating, and your sarcasm is, influencing this space, and then, we go back and forth as we do. I used to feel that way as well after surgery and having metal in me. I swear I get cold so easily, and it's harder to stay warm. Weird. I'm trying to figure out why. Technically our heat production gets done on a cellular level. Isn't that cool? That's why we shake. Our cells are literally, or our muscles technically, are contracting and then releasing, contracting and releasing, contracting and releasing. And that process produces heat. And your body, when it produces heat, it does that. It's like oscillating. Every little cell of your body eating energy and producing heat. It's pretty surreal. I wonder if the metal, you know, because of its high conductivity, or yeah, conductivity is the right word, even for heat. Maybe it's sucking heat from you, but the heat isn't going anywhere. I don't know. I hope it gets better. Like the winter is ending soon for you, because it's getting cold in the mornings here, even though it's like blazing hot during the days. When that actually made my stomach hurt even more for some reason. Dude, here you are, dude. Here you are. When you said, "Here I am in pain. Here I am," yeah, that's what, maybe that's what you're doing right now, friend. Who knows? Maybe you're doing it to yourself. Maybe you've been feeling unpresent in your own life, and you know, life was like, yeah, you need to be present, and you're like, you need to be present, and you're like, and now, you know, your body has literally manifested something that allows you or stops you from not being present. And I went through the same thing recently. You weren't here to hear that, but yesterday I mentioned as well that I've been dealing with a headache since the 22nd of February. And it was like every single time I was exerting myself, every single time I wasn't breathing properly, every single time I wasn't drinking enough water, every single time I was, you know, considering doing something like eating sugar in excess, I would get this growing pressure in my brain, and I would be like, make it stop. And it felt in the same way as that, dude, like this manifestation in a physical way of the things we understand on a mental level, the things we understand we're supposed to be doing and that we might be neglecting. Hmm. I've missed ya. How are ya? Life is good. It's light already. 7:15. Oh, in the morning. Spring is coming, and could just sing about it. Full on Disney style. I just imagine the burbs and the animals coming to you, Kelly. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that image with me. That's so sweet. I've missed you too. And for that Disney vibe. A beautiful day to be alive. Such a beautiful day. Thank you, friends, for being alive with me. What a weird thing that is to say, but thank you for being alive with me. Thank you for continuing. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for showing up, you know, not necessarily in this space, but for yourself, for lifting your head off of the pillow. Thank you for that. Genuinely, I appreciate it so much. I used to work in orthodontist, I guess, and this happens a lot with replacement joints and bones. Texas cold is a different kind of cold when it comes through, chills you all the way through. So it's something that happens, you know, like as a symptom almost. You're saying, Kelly. How fascinating. Then that, I'm pretty sure they would have reasons for it then. I'm kind of curious. Ah, Faskier. Sounds like a simple. Wat, puppy? Je ken hom. Je weet wat het is. I need a goose update. Ninja Peach, I've tried to catch him now multiple times. He doesn't want me to. You know, and like, I've been watching him as well, and as I mentioned, like, it's not contracting or constricting onto his little legs. They're just kind of like loosely like bundled around, like, you know, like kind of like this. So like maybe he bumps up against it as he's walking like that, and his feet are still, he can still space his feet out enough, so it's not necessarily bothering him or hurting him. I think maybe that's the right word. It's not hurting him, but it might be bothering him. But they just, they don't want me to get close. Like I've tried so many times, and I was thinking maybe I have to like go in the cover of darkness and like fashion myself a net or something, or use like some sort of clothes basin, you know. Like, what am I gonna do to help this dude? It hurts me. It hurts me. No, please do what you need to take care. Absolutely, friend. Please, please, please take care. The humidity makes it stick to you. Sending healing vibes. Thank you so much. Titles go beyond doctors. I find it's a number of people who have been through university education that have the false sense of entitlement. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, Ninja. Oh, for sure. You know, like in my family, for example, I was expected to become an engineer. with the way I think about things and the way I am, if you will, when it comes to my ideas and willingness to create things. My family and my dad being an engineer, his brother being an engineer, my aunt from my dad's side, both her sons are engineers. Her husband is an engineer. On my mom's side, all three of my uncles are engineers. My cousin from one of those uncles is an engineer. The other one is studying to be an engineer. My brother studying to be an engineer. My younger brother also probably going to be an engineer. So in my own family, Ninja Nanner, there is this sense of entitlement with and like, okay, yeah, I'm so stupid because I'm not an actual qualified engineer, am I? If you say so. If you say so, Fred. Super stupid. Stupid this. Hmm. Do the cells in our body have a soul? Do the cells in our body even know? As the cells in our body, in their little world, or do they seem like the world to themselves? I believe so. I believe they are technically, in their own minds, the center of the universe as well. And they're asking from this larger organism, as we can as well, for resources. And then these resources are given. And then by receiving resources, it has the resources to give back. And it's this give and take all the way up, all the way down, down to the cellular level. And because of these trillions of cells working together right now, actively working together, repairing themselves, taking care of things that have been broken, like utilizing the resources that you've put into your body, it's so surreal that we're having this calm, stable experience. It's wild. And you can think of it again, like maybe our planets right now are communicating, having chats. And maybe there is some sort of like planetary consciousness going on. And now we as humanity are a part of our Earth's planetary consciousness. And then this planet like is looking at Earth, seeing these little creatures, us running around on it, building planes, launching rockets, landing on the moon and shit. And it's like, you think they think? The planet asks. Do you think they do that for a reason? How odd. Why would they do that? Are they scared of you? Why are they trying to escape? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I can't say, with any certainty, but I'd like to think so. Even if it's just a thought as an imagination, I think it's still something that's beautiful. Do they think outside our body is where the universe is held? Are the cells in this universe? You are your cell's universe, my friend, as our universe is our universe in the same way, where we found ourselves in something, but that cell could convince itself that it is separate. And if it does that, guess what happens? We get cancer. Isn't that neat? This cell is like, yeah, I've died and I'm separate from this organism, but I'm gonna stay separate, instead of getting kind of like re-eaten or turned into, nutrients or proteins again. I'm just going to continue going, and I'm going to be me. And then that cancer cell grows. And what's interesting, those cancer cells figure out how to steal nutrients from the surrounding cells, turning them into cancer cells as well, growing. And it's literally separation from the universe that is cancerous. Even if it's your cell separating from yourself and then continuing as a separate entity, that is what cancer is. Isn't that like really trippy? Isn't it like super trippy in the context of what's going on in our world right now? What we think of as cancerous behavior is kind of like one-to-one separation, where you convince yourself, oh, I'm separate from these other people, so I guess I can kill them. I guess I can take their shit because they're not me. Who are they? I'm just gonna take their stuff and then give it to myself. That's what cancer does. It's literally what cancer does. It's so trippy, dude. Cellception. The world is trippy. The universe is scary. You are that universe, Nova. That's a trip, dude. I thought to be an architect or voice actor. Turns out I'm a dog groomer. And Mariah, like I can, like honestly, and this sounds a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? disingenuous, because, but it's really not. I genuinely think being a dog groomer is a significantly better job than being an architect or a voice actor, because you literally get to work with loving beings as your job. Where of architecture, you have all of the anxiety of budgeting and making sure your shit works. Otherwise, people die. And, with a voice actor, you're kind of like in solitude, projecting out from yourself. Maybe you'll have loving beings that you work with as well, but you're expected to do things. I genuinely think a dog groomer is an amazing job, my friend. You said what I said, yet you described it so much more vast. Nova, like these things are within us, my friend. I've just practiced to get them out. Like when I answer 1 + 1 = 2, we win. Like when we all answer 1 + 1 = 2, we win. Maybe we're trying to figure out what that thing is, what that 1 + 1 is. Maybe we're like, that 1 + 1 to me is just love is true, like legitimately. Like if more people can just hold that thought for a second, love is true. What does that mean? Just think about it. What does it mean to you? And then, on top of that, to reference that before we make decisions. Oh, I want to, you know, do something to the dog. Is love going to be true if I beat her? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be a loving exchange between me and her. Is love going to be true if I give her gentle pets? Absolutely. You can bet your ass. So, by asking ourselves these questions, even on a cellular level, is love true? Am I going to be giving love and receiving love from this organism? Or is love not true? I'm just going to be taking from this organism. It's, I think it goes all the way up. It's almost universal. This pippy popper, Bane, or blissful. Being all blissful. I don't know why I went Bane. I mean, like the way you spelled it, but for some reason I went like to a German mindset, and then directly after it, we have Talia saying, "I hope all of y'all are having the most beautiful time today. Love to the power of infinity to every one of you. Thank you so much." How did you do that? I want to know. That's so cool, actually, Talia. You could several times. I've thought several times that I filled cracks in to find out it was temporary fix and not a solid foundation, crumbling through, but the cracks is filling slowly. What cracks are you trying to fill? Okay, check here. I'm gonna see if I can show you. There he is. Do you see him? That one. You see, he has some stuff around his feet, but he's not uncomfortable. You see, like he's not hurting. He's still moving relatively efficiently. Let me see if I can get closer. Like they're not gonna allow me to. But I'm gonna try. Thank you for asking, Fred. My sweetheart. My sweetie. Ooh. Nice stretch. Whew. Okay. Oh, goodness. Straight up got bit yesterday. Still love my job. I'm sorry to hear that. Like, is it when you were bathing the dog? I guess some of them really doesn't like that. Do you put a muzzle on the dogs if they bite? I'm guessing you would have to. Are the neurons in our brain? Are the neurons in our brain the same as in our brain? Do the cells think of them as a god? Are the neurons in our brain, do the cells think of themselves as a god? Dopamine the goddess, adrenaline as the war god, MDMA MDMA it would be the ruler. I know. I don't think so, at least, Nova. I think of neurons as transistors, technically. You know, they create a positive charge, and then on the other side, uncharged neuron has a negative charge. So it has this little dendritic cell, and technically it creates myelin seeds around the dendritic cell as well to assist that transmission of electricity, and then it literally transfers through that as a positive electron to something that is in a state of a negative electron. And those little attachment points, it doesn't necessarily bridge the gap in electricity, it bridges the gap in neurochemicals. So it sends this impulse, and then it reaches this little, cell end, and then it creates chemicals, and it transfers those chemicals to the other side, and then those chemicals get recycled, and then it goes back and forth. And that is basically how we're thinking things right now. And then when you take psychedelics, for example, you have more of a certain chemical in your brain that is produced serotonin, or an antagonist. It looks like serotonin, so it bonds to those same receptors. And instead of needing that whole process of a neuron firing, kind of like running that little process and then bridging the gap, and then it can create another one, all of those little cells now have these chemicals already in them, making them excited, firing more brain cells in your brain, allowing you to think things. So I don't think of any of those chemicals necessarily as entities in and of themselves, more structures, like actual, like the way you would, like, oh, this is a cup, and a cup holds water. Like, oh, this is a serotonin molecule. Serotonin molecule communicates information. Oh, this is a dopamine molecule. Dopamine molecule communicates satisfaction, approval of, telling you you're doing something right. This is, cortisol tells you you're doing something wrong. So it's like literally this physical structure within our universe, molecular structure within our universe that communicates information to us. Electric zaps connect the neurons, if I'm remembering correct. Well, not connects them, it basically communicates through them. But dude, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but the research I've done, the reading I've done, the videos I've watched have allowed me at least some rudimentary understanding, but I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I've thought several times. Okay, I've already one, sorry. I never tried to hide the cracks in my heart. Always been very raw emotionally, but the depth again statement instantly made me think of every break in my heart that never quite healed. They're still there, even if they aren't visible anymore. Kelly, for what it's worth, like, those cracks are allowing the light that is within you to shine through. Let me just say that. So perfectly beautiful. 1 + 1 = 2. If we're all ones and zeros, and you have 2 ones, it equals 2. I believe ones and zeros, in our brain, yes, but also superposition at the same time. Like, every single one of your neurons is in a superposition state right now. If it's not firing, it has the potential to either fire or not fire, right? Like, as a neuron. So depending on what you're witnessing, depending on what you're hearing, it collapses into one superposition or another. It collapses into a 0 or into a 1. And as soon as it clicks, that fractal starts. And that's, I believe, how we think and observe and experience this world. And the more you live into fractal thinking, I believe the more your mind opens up to that ability of, connection. 1 + 0 = 1. I feel you completely, Mariah. How do you feel about the superposition thing? You as a quantum machine. Okay, it's kind of fucked my message up, but I think y'all get it. I get completely what you're saying, Talia. So much love to you. Proud of you. That's the truth. Cracks don't have to be filled. You are not a building doomed to fall with too many cracks. We are more like an ocean. The cracks are the deepest, more interesting parts of our ocean floor. It's so freaking beautiful, Isaac. I appreciate that so much, man. 100% agree. There we go, Mariah. Like, what, like, maybe, like, maybe this is true. Maybe it's not. I look forward to finding out more about the human brain as we basically input it into a massive neural net. Like, just think about that. We're going to use computers that we based on the brain to figure out how the brain works. Isn't that surreal? Oh, this crack's just more beautiful. Wait, melt? You've never seen snow? Not a day in my life, Talia. I've never seen snow. I look forward to making a snow angel one day. Toasty is here. Toast below. It's been 30 minutes since as you said that comment. I hope you're still here. I'm sending you so much love, brother bear. Thank you for joining me. Like, I'm going to have to take a break from reading, I think, YouTube comments because I feel like I'm getting way too behind. Maybe get a little bit more focused as well. Studies have actually shown that the school is one of the most traumatizing experiences to kids. I agree completely. It's one of the most traumatizing experiences that happened to me. If I could undo school, I would 100% do that. Would that be what the internet is? Like a very rough about the edges, but essentially, I mean, technically, yes. With the amount of nodes we have, contributing to the internet right now, it very much is like a brain. I mean, do cells think of our actual brains as a god, or brain chemicals like dopamine and adrenaline as a higher beings? Ooh, okay, it sounds weird. Okay, no, no, the way you're describing it now makes a little bit more sense. So I get what you're trying to, bring into this space, Nova. Thank you for that. I mean, they could think of it as their universe, and the other neurons as friends, as co-creators. And these chemicals, again, I believe, communicate information. So in the way that you said, you would say beings. Maybe a certain being can represent a certain set of information, and that being showing up, if you will, brings that packet of information with it. So I wouldn't put it past it. Yep, school traumatized me as well. Yeah, there we go. I'm not surprised at all. Doctors now here are so fed up with the drug use and addiction that they almost take out all patients and neglect their needs. My mom is having surgery Thursday, and they aren't giving her any meds to come home with. I think you've shared that with me. I'm happy that she's getting the surgery, but that is not the way to do it either. Goodness. Made my trauma worse. What's the initial trauma? If you're willing to unravel it, if you're willing to go down that crack, Nova. Hug yourself for me, please. Thanks. This is an analogy, and it's beautiful. It's always a better day when I spend the morning here. Kelly, it's genuinely a better stream with you being here with us. Thank you for sharing your perspective, for contributing, for co-creating with us. It's sad, really. Shouldn't be legal. If you want to test me first, but damn, don't let me suffer because you found others who abuse medication. Exactly. Heather, and you know what the worst part is? The doctors are at fault. The doctors are the reason that people, had problems with addiction in the first place because they were prescribing it with a financial incentive. The companies that produced those drugs paid the doctors exorbitant amount of money to prescribe as much of that medication as they possibly could. So, like, they're the ones responsible. Like, they're making patients pay for their fuck ups. You ticks are nasty. I couldn't agree more, Toast. That's why I make sure my little Peppy Doge is stick free as much as I can. Request filled. I feel the same way. Thank you for always being and giving so much love. Thank you for doing the same, Isaac. This is a back and forth, my friend. Like, we would feel imbalanced if we weren't sharing love both ways. The issue is doctors don't prescribe properly. They don't wean people off by lowering dosage. They just cut people off. And that is literally why there is an opioid epidemic in America right now. Because people were prescribed these very powerful opioids, and it helped them deal with their pain. And then by the end of their trial, their legal, access, if you will, to these opioids, they get cut off. And opioids are dependent, drugs. You form dependency on it pretty quickly because it makes you not feel pain. And without that, the pain gets even worse because your brain stops producing your own. And that's a big yikes. And then because they get cut off so suddenly, they go and look for their, pain relief elsewhere. And it leads you to the black market. And what's the biggest problem is people kind of go to the black market buying pills initially, and then they're like, oh well, these pills, I can swallow this pill and it lasts this long. If I crush this pill up and inject it into my vein, I can use one pill 3 times. I don't know how it works exactly, so please do excuse me, but I know, from reading that it's more efficient to inject it directly into your body than to take it and have it processed by your digestive system, obviously. So that is the next step. And then people get into that mind. They lose their entire lives because of malpractice. And the medical industry takes zero responsibility for any of that. My mini trauma was being alone as a child, having no friends, growing up, not connecting to anyone, and feeling abandoned by my mom. But my main trauma is being bullied a lot as a kid. Is it trauma, Nova? I'm not trying to say that you're not traumatized, but is it something you actively is actively affecting your life? Because I was bullied a lot as well, so much. Like, I think the worst I ever got bullied was when people pulled my chair back. I fell back, hit my head against the floor, and this dude was over me and hitting me in the face. And after that happened, I was like, never again. And I got so strong, so freaking strong, that I would just never again will that ever happen to me. So it might have been traumatizing, but I feel it kind of created this consolidated understanding in my mind that I will not allow myself to be weak. I cannot allow myself to be weak, not only to be able to defend myself, but if I can't even defend myself, how could I ever hope to defend the ones I love? So you can use that trauma for growth. You can use it as the shit for fertilizer, if you will. Well, I said mini trauma. I'm not trying to make any less of you, friend. I'm just trying to bring this perspective, try and utilize it in a new way. Yes, Ninja. And that right there is why people reach out, and get street drugs, literally, because it helps with the withdrawals. You're so right, Heather. It's horrible. Oh, actually, it has been a crack in my day now that you've directly reminded me, Mel. I threw my glass French press to the floor and broke it. No, no. Like, I've been drinking French press coffee as of late. I made myself a coffee before stream today. And it's been so wonderful. Like, I've been doing it for the last 5 days, I think. We didn't have ground coffee, and I asked my mom if she could get me some. And I've been drinking from the French press. The fact that yours is broken, I feel very, like, I wouldn't, like, 5 days ago, like 10 days ago, let's say, I would be like, oh, I'm sorry, Talia. But now I feel like I have even more means to relate to you. I'm so sorry, my friend. Sorry for that crack in your day. Prescription drugs are all about monies. Oh yeah, it's sad, greedy world, and an epidemic we don't talk about a lot. What's that dude's name? Mark Cuban? Is it Mark Cuban? I think Mark Cuban, recently created a new website where he's basically selling prescription medication at cost plus 7%, where the medical industry, goes up to like 1,500% markup. And it's because of his insurance, of course. Oh man, oh goodness. I'm getting triggered. let's not get any deeper into the bullshit of medical industries. Yep, it starts the addiction spiral. You're completely right, Heather. It's absolutely unacceptable. It's repulsive how much the mark. Yeah, there we go. Like, it's crazy to me that you friends are perfectly synchronized with the things I'm saying as well. Like 500%, I think. Could be wrong. It's sometimes even more, Ninja Nanner. Sometimes even more. More than 500% markup. Just think about that. Oh, I work in the medical industry. Our literal existence, the single existence, the single reason we're existing is to help people get better. And then we're like, yeah, that's cool and all, but what if we charge them, 500% more for the medication they need? How about that? Fuck around and find out. So freaking evil. My mom found out, okay, yet the street drug money still fuels the government, and it's a win-win for them and lose-lose for the general population. We live in such a surreal world. Like, you're freaking flabbergasted. My mom found all the messages I shared with the person who messaged me things, and all of the photos of my cuts and all the other stuff I remember trying to run away and trying to smash my device. Nova, my mom also, went through my history when I was going through my depression phases, where I was finding out what the dosage would be to kill myself with. And I ended up doing it nonetheless, so I feel you on that as well. It's so difficult, and we feel like we can't be helped. We don't want to be helped sometimes even. We believe they don't understand. I make the face about it almost every day. It literally baffles my mind. I'm so far behind. Like, I feel like I'm neglecting our Reddit friends. My mother has been addicted to pain pills for over 40 years of my life, but it's okay. The doctor gave it. Infuriating. Like, it's crazy to me that that is the case as well, Lisa, where people are like, yeah, it's prescribed, it's medicine. But I'm like, you do realize you're drinking heroin in pill form. And they're like, no, it helps me with my pain. I'm like, yeah, yeah, of course it does. It's heroin. Of course it helps you with your pain. That's what heroin does. But my doctor, yeah, like especially with like Adderall and stuff like that, where people are also convinced it's okay for them to take Adderall every single day for years because their doctor is prescribing it to them. It doesn't make it okay. It's still meth that you're taking. Uh, then I eventually handled over, and she read everything, and I mean everything. And it was the other room, crying on the floor, waiting, feeling dread, and I heard everything they were saying. Who is they? Were your mom talking to the person, Nova? Y'all, some cold weather wimps. However, Texas heat has a way of melting your body's ability to cope with the cold. I feel it's just the nature of us human beings. Like, we get so comfortable as a evolutionary trait. Like, we're highly adaptable beings, so we adapt to our environments, and then we adapt to like a super warm environment, and then the cold comes, and we're like, die here. So sorry to hear and understand the frustration. Had a man break both femurs, his back in two places, and once healed, he sobbed that he wished he had never taken even one pain pill because kicking the addiction was so much harder than healing his body. Just think about that. Someone broke both his femurs and his back in two places, and he, instead of wishing he didn't do any of that, he wishes he didn't take freaking medication, a certain medication, because of the withdrawals. The withdrawal was more painful than the actual breaking of femurs and backs. It baffles my mind. Georgia is similar, Gab. Mushrooms, your vices? I do like mushrooms. I haven't eaten any. I haven't eaten any since the 27th of January. I think it was the 27th of January. It was a Saturday. My my family were away. They went to cousin's birthday, and I ate 7.77 grams of mushrooms. And that experience showed me that I'm okay. Let me just say that. Like, I don't need to be taking mushrooms. So I haven't taken mushrooms again. I do look forward to it. Your vices. How about you, friend? What's your vices? Meltmore, hope you are well. Here today to join the Meltorama. Thank you for joining us, Salty. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you for co-creating with us. Man, now I'm seeking cracks everywhere. As soon as we remind ourselves, as soon as we, focus our attention, then suddenly cracks in our brains as well. Everyone gasped, and I felt ashamed and depressed. Who's everyone, dude? Like, I need to know who everyone is. I felt ashamed and depressed. I cried myself to sleep that night, and I remember the next day I woke up, my grandma asked if I was okay. I just numbly said yes, even if I wasn't. Like, didn't they try and help you or talk to you or sit you down and kind of like discuss what you were going through? I broke my tailbone about 3 years ago, and I would still rather deal with the pain it gives me than to try to go to have a doctor do something about it. Breaking your tailbone. Oh, goodness. I've never broken a single bone either. I've broken my nose by running into a glass door as a 6-year-old, and I've sprained my pinky toe, but I've never broken anything. Hopefully, I never will. Please, please protect me. Oh, coping skills are gone. That means there's a room for growth. There we go. Especially if you're willing to try and find it. Instead of trying to shy away, pretend like it's not there. Jacob, thank you for joining us, Brother Bay. I think if cracks were cractals. Man, you're too good. You're too good. Freaking Ninja Nanner. Cractals, it is. Like, that's gonna be the word I'm using from now on. No more cracks. No more fractals. Cractals. TM. I love Melt's yikes warnings. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for like bearing with me, even though I say some things that might be a little bit questionable. We live beside a great lake. When the ice starts cracking, it's a good sign of spring. Praying for those cracks. You see, like, in my mind, that's not a thing at all, Ninja Peach. I would have never had that perspective if you didn't share it with me. Thank you so much. I'm seeing so many cracks now that we are talking about it. I'm getting exactly what I'm focusing on. Funny. It is funny, Ryan. It really is funny because we know that. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. And yet we get so caught up, in the crack. No, look at this. Look at these walls of this crack, that I'm inside of. Not taking the bigger picture, seeing it from outside, seeing the crack tool for what it is. Just left me alone. A 10-year-old kid. No one was there for me at all. Things at school were worse. I was severely depressed, bullied, and it just broke me and emotionally traumatized me. When I say them, I mean my family. Thank you, Nova. At least you have a better family now, friend. Like that's what my mind first thing goes to. At least you have friends that are willing to sit with you during these painful moments and not shy away from them. Not pretend like they're not real. We're here with you, dude. We're here completely with you, friend. I hope you feel better having at least unburdened yourself a little bit. I don't know the percentage, but I know it's a lot. My mom has issues with her colon, and to prevent it from forming into cancer, she must take meds that cost $900 a month. Her insurance messes her enrollment up, so they called in and said, "Well, they're 30 days late, and she can't pay 900 per month simply because they messed up." I'm just gonna breathe through these. I'm sorry, Heather. I'm so sorry. This is awful. So scary. I have an infusion once every 6 months. Each infusion costs me 16,000 US dollars. I'm in a clinic for 4 hours max. So grateful for Canada Insurance. I pay $9 per appointment. Yo, I was in a state of shock there for a second. $32,000 a year to stay alive. That's cancer medication and insulin should never be as expensive as it is. It's absolutely disgusting that people have to lose their house just to stay alive. Dude, like insulin, there are kids who have, diabetes. And if they don't get their insulin, they die. You have to inject insulin every single day. Otherwise, you die. And the fact that these, companies are gouging prices, and the dude that invented insulin made it open source. He was like, this is something that the world needs. I could never try and commoditize, IP this and try and make as much money off of this. This needs to be given to the world. And that's what he did, the creator of this thing. And then these companies did exactly what he didn't want to happen. Because I'm getting extremely triggered, friends. Like, I'm getting viscerally angry. Nova, I had no friends at school. And the fact that my family, the people I look up to, just completely left me alone when I was the most vulnerable is heartbreaking. I was suppressed still 5 years after. That was ages ago. I'm all good now. I'm happy to hear that, Nova. And if anything, this what you're sharing with me is reminding me over and over again of the resilience of human beings. No matter how many cracks we experience, funky goose dudes, no matter how many cracks we experience, we're still capable of coming out whole on the other side. So thank you, Nova. Thank you for that. So sad. Why can't she get free from samples? Why she can't get some free samples they hand out? Like it's amazing though. Glad to hear you're able to get treatment. Same. Healthcare and money, man. Literally, gaming human beings. It's like, oh, you want to live? Guess you're gonna spend your life savings. Guess you're gonna lose your house. Guess you're gonna, go into extreme debt. Why? Because you want to live. Why not just die? You want to live? Pay an exorbitant amount of money. Why? Why is it so expensive? Because we say so. How much does it cost us? Oh, almost nothing. On a company level. Yeah, but you pay. I'm still baffled by the concept of insurance. Pay us, and you will be taken care of. After you pay them, what are we actually paying for? You're paying them as a service, basically. You know, instead of contributing that money to our global, healthcare system and then having free healthcare, it's like, yeah, you're gonna pay this company, and then that company gets price gouged as well. So like, I need to relax. I need to relax. Please, friends. I need to relax right now. Cracks. So many cracks. So many freaking cracks. I cannot. What we're focusing on. You see, you're so right, Ryan. You're so right. It's what we're focusing on right now. Seriously though, I'm not kidding. That was the dark. Yeah, dude. I went through it as well. I tried to commit suicide, dude. I went the whole way. I took 60 antidepressants and I drank it with 50 mils. No, 50. 500 mils of vodka. I I was supposed to die. I'm not supposed to be here right now. I understand, Nova. I do understand, friend. I understand what it's like to feel that way. I just don't talk about it because it's not something that serves me. Well, I don't talk about it much because it's not something that serves me. And it just makes me feel bad if I talk about it again. Never experienced the feeling of I've it was the darkest time I've ever experienced, and I felt anything worse. I literally had no emotion. I felt numb. Nothing made me happy. Nothing makes you happy, and you keep telling yourself that you want to die over and over again. Like you rationalize it of like, oh, this doesn't make me happy. I think I would rather die. This is not, nice. I think I would rather die. And it's that loop that you perpetuate. And we need to stop. We need to stop, Nova. Please, friend. Here is the relaxing 2 word dedicated to the Nullarbor. Ermias Plur. God uplifts peace, love, unity, and respect. And we should uplift the same thing. You, Nova, as God, needs to uplift peace, love, unity, and respect. And if we do, then it will be uplifted. We found out last week that my brother needs a heart transplant. He's been in heart failure for a bit, and the meds they put him on is $800 a month. He cannot afford that. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to. Like, in South Africa, $800 a month, that is a teacher salary. Literally, a teacher salary is $800 a month. Your entire salary, after having not paid your apartment, your bills, food for yourself and your family, they just want all of it. Like, how is that a thing? How is that a thing? I remember thinking such horrible thoughts and peeling my skin off like tape, and that satisfied me, and I was messed up. Sorry for oversharing. Nova, share whatever you need to, friend. We're here with you. This is a great suggestion. My ADHD meds are $400 a month, and they weren't covered. The drug company sent me them for free until I had coverage. That is, do you live in Canada, Kelly? You just said you did, right? With your extremely expensive $16,000 every 6 months. So I wonder if it's on a company level. Were they in Canada as well, and they respected you enough to actually help you with that? If you want to get under an engineer's skin, ask them how many times something they designed worked out the first time. Then ask a mechanic, lol. Oh, that's perfect. How hilarious. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm thinking about asking that question to all of my different family members. And not only do I know what the answer is going to be, but I know of the things that they've made that has failed. So it's like suddenly I have this extreme ammunition. I would probably not say that, nonetheless, Ninja Nanner. Fortunately, my way of seeing the world is confusing enough that I cannot talk to my engineering family members. Hey, Katie, it's so nice to have you here, friend. Oh my gosh. Sending so much hope and holding you all in my heart, all fingers and toes crossed for a quick resolution. Thank you so much for sending that love, Kelly. That's why they say cold to the bone. And also why my grandma used to say my knees ache, it's going to rain. I thought she was bonkers. Turns out she's correct. I'm sorry to hear that, Nova. Like, I'm going to be respectful of our friends and not read your messages out loud for now. So sorry to hear that. I hope you all get in. I hope there will be a way and somehow abundance shows up. It will. I believe it. I genuinely do. That's so stupid, dude. Man, people are insensitive in your family, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hmm. Oh, damn, on B, my heart breaks for you. I'm deeply hoping that things will turn out right. I'm wishing you so much love and hope. Thank you so much. Does he have insurance on B? Is the first question that I want to ask. May I ask, have you been losing weight? You look thinner. Yes. In fact, Denjoga. I've lost, from the start of this month, 8 kilograms, technically. Thank you for noticing, friend. You're the second person that noticed today. You know, one of my dad's colleagues, Ati, just randomly video called me today. And I answered the phone, and the first words out of his mouth is, "You've lost weight?" And I'm like, "Thank you." Yeah, yeah, in fact, thank you for noticing as well, Joga. It will take a minute for him to get your comment, but I'm certain he'll appreciate it. I really did. Thank you so much, Aunt B, for letting our friend know. Can you get insurance through the marketplace, or does he already have that? Gosh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for asking the same, friend. I work in the dog grooming part time now too. Okay. So, like, are you now working the job that you had, which I still don't know which it is? I think something in design for some reasons where my mind went. And then you have the doggy daycare, and now you have dog grooming as well. Gobbledygoo. Fellow groomers, Mariah. You have a fellow groomer in Gobbledygoo. How old is your brother, if you don't mind me asking? And have they already put him on a transplant list? I hope so. Like, that's the biggest thing. I didn't even consider that. Like, the biggest thing with like getting a heart transplant is you have to have a heart from someone, that has, died, if you will. So there's that whole trip of finding someone who is compatible and then actually getting a heart and then the freaking surgery. Goodness, looking at your photos, it looks like a serious work of art. I can only imagine. Dog culture is amazing. It is. It is. I have little Pippi sleeping here next to me. I feel dogs are, one of those things that says so much about us as humans as well. The fact that they're these companions to us. Cells absolutely have memory. I'm not educated enough to explain exactly, but my aforementioned treatment kills off my B cells to prevent them from attacking my healthy cells. The new B cells grow back and see my healthy cells as enemies. That sounds like an autoimmune disease, is it? I'm so sorry to hear that, Kelly. I'm happy that there's actually medicine for that. There we go. Autoimmune is what you said as well, Heather. Tracks being empty space, something missing. I mean, it could be empty space, but there has to be something underneath the crack, and I feel instead of focusing on the empty space, focus on what's underneath. Yeah, same, dude. Like, I was staying in my room and basically just watching anime. I watched a lot of anime. Way too much anime. So, so I thought, get a really long stick of a hook and try to hook that thing that is around the goose's feetsies. I think that would be the best as well. I thought about that as well, but I was like worried that I would injure him, upon trying to reach him and him trying to like struggle away from me and whatever I'm going to be using, injuring his feet or his body. Is there something on the goose's foot? There is, like a piece of string around it. How do you get bullied online, dude? You just turn your computer off, Nova. You're like, oh, these people are assholes, and then you just don't talk to them anymore. I recently had to make that decision for myself, where there was this individual that I spent a lot of time talking to, and he would send, messages with questions or, yeah, let's say questions, and then I would, take time to actually answer him, and I would spend a lot of time thinking about that, and I was investing so much mental energy into, the conversations we were having, and he basically, said this, like, let me give you the exchange. He was like, yeah, I read books for the same reason that you meditate, he says to me. And I'm like, I don't think so. Because reading a book is you focusing on words, perspective of the outside world, of an outside person. Meditation is literally the opposite of that. You go inwards, you introspect, you find yourself of that calm that you always are without external stimuli. Like the point is to notice the external stimuli, but to realize the awareness of them underlying them. And I basically tell him that. And he was like, if I wanted your opinion, I would have asked for it. And I'm like, but you literally just said that you do something for the reason that I do this thing. You didn't directly like, what do you think about this? Ask me. But what did you think was going to happen? This is how a conversation works. You say something, I say something about what you said. You say something about what I said. And that's how conversation works. And I basically say that to him. And he's like, I didn't ask for your opinion. And I was like, okay, then why are you talking to me? I asked him. He was like, I talk out of, like the goodness of my heart. If people send me a message, I feel bad for not sending them a message back. So I guess I can, reply to the message you send me. And without saying another word, I completely deleted his number from my phone. Because if you're only talking to me as a favor, as, oh, guess I'm gonna reply to you because you've sent me a message, instead of wanting to co-create with another being, then I'm not going to spend any more time. I'm not going to allow you to influence my mental health. I'm not going to invest so much mental energy into a relationship that is not mutually beneficial. If you're just giving, then I'm not going to keep taking from you. So like that's the thing, dude. It's not the same. Seems arrogant. And yeah, dude. Like you can just not, if someone in your life is inflammatory, just don't. Be like, oh shit, nice. This person doesn't have any respect for me. I'm just not going to participate in, the exchange. Goosies, geetsies. Throw them some food. Slowly over time, move the food closer. So no, I've already tried that, unfortunately, Ninja Peach. They don't trust me at all. I've been feeding them a long time, and I've been trying that as well. Like what I do with the chickens I've managed to do that, Ninja Peach, where I like throw food and then I throw food like kind of close to me and I sit down and then I just watch them, peck their little stuff. I see their little beautiful eyes and little furls on their head and, the intricacies of their feathers. And I'll just watch them. But for some reason, the goose, aren't having any of it. They don't want to get close to me. Geese, these geese are cray. They are. Oh. I'm happy to hear that, Nova. That's a good thing, friend. That's a good thing. Nova's basically saying that the way his family has been treating him has changed. Maybe, they're realizing that you're a whole person now. Maybe it's difficult for your parents or your family to see a child as a person. They see you as a child instead. Good morning to you, Loose Reporter. Thank you for joining us again. And on Monday stream, Melt gets attacked by Melt Smelt. I hope for the geese. Melt Smelt, I come for the geese. JK, love you, friend. Love you so much. Yeepers, MS. Oh, it is a autoimmune. Been diagnosed 2 years ago. Caught it so early, luckily. Then treatment was available. I went from getting 10 to 13 sessions in 6 months, and now it's slowed to 3 to 4. Sometimes I go blind temporarily, but otherwise, I'm one of the luckiest people I know. Regardless of the cracks, still your light shines. Kelly, thank you for sharing that with us. Making room for something in the future. We crack so we can expand. There we go, Ninja Nanner. The thing inside of you wants to get out, and as it expands, things start cracking, start falling apart. Can't believe it took us this long to get to the Leonardo Cohen quote. Glad you said it, Mel. Glad I said it as well, Kelly. I'm still a half hour behind. I'm trying. I'm really trying, friends. I'm sorry. You can probably see the anxiety in me a little bit. I hate the US for that. Can you GoFundMe or something similar to help raise money for his meds? I hope so. Such a trouble maker. Lol, my family are also doctors and engineers, and those buttons can be very easily pushed. I've gotten over it and I don't care anymore. Glad it took me till 15 to get over it. Took me until 16 to get over it as well. Technically, it took me till 18 to get over it properly, Nova. Keep channeling that energy. I can tell you firsthand from watching my sister that injecting starts when the tolerance gets too high for the pills to work, and injecting is more efficient because effects are immediate. There we go. But it's a double-edged sword because it works fast, but wears off fast. So they need to inject multiple times a day, and they run out of veins that work. So eventually, they can't even have blood work drawn. It's insane. You know what the worst part is? I don't think those people are evil. You know, I think they're still just us, just human beings, struggling with pain, like actual constant pain. And they found this thing that helps them with that pain. But unfortunately, as you're saying as well, it is a double-edged sword in that way as well, where the very thing that helps you not feel pain makes you feel pain if you go without it. 9 to 15, so 6 to 7 years it took. For mine was about from 13, like 12-ish to 18, so almost the same time period. Nova, not sure if you can see this. He will now, Kelly. But if Meld will make it this far down the commons, but I wish I could hug you hard and eternal sunshine. Some of those memories. You are loved and the world needs you just as you are. There you go, Nova Bear. Your loved friend. Even by, beings that don't know you, you are so, so loved. Know that you need to be here, friend. Know that all of these things that you've been through, I believe, could educate you to help others. Like I genuinely believe that you need to use this knowledge that you've gained to help those that are going through these, symptoms as well. Like maybe that would be, a good direction for you to go in, like a school counselor or something. Good morning, brother Brandon. What are we talking about today? We're talking about cracks, dude. Cracks in society, cracks in our own lives, cracks as the ability for us to be expanding and growing and our old shell no longer fitting, cracks being seen as something that is beautiful, as a craxel, a crack fractal, if you will, cracks in, our understanding of self, cracks in our personalities. I feel like my personality is cracking a little bit with the anxiety and mild anger that like low hum anger I'm experiencing. So many cracks today. How about you? How are you feeling, Uncle Becky? How fun it has been lurking today. You guys are great. No, you, Isaac. Thank you for joining us here, my friend. Blows my mind. I didn't know that Estian about the diabetes inventor. I mean, insulin discoverer rather. Like it would have been a big dick move if there was someone who invented diabetes, Lisa. Like I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just thinking about it in a comical sense. Like this dude is in a lab and then suddenly, like mixes two things together and invents diabetes. And then suddenly, the vial drops on the floor and, a bunch of people get diabetes all over the world. Like, dude, why did you do that? Why did you invent diabetes? There we go. Uncle Becky is on the YouTubes as well. Thank you for whoever said that. Her name is Kelly Nova. So special. I really thought no one was listening, but I was heard. Thank you, friend. Oh, no one was listening, Nova. What are you talking about, dude? I'm literally reading your words. Nobody's listening. Oh, am I nobody? Suddenly, freaking Nova's bullying me online. How dare Thought no one was listening, but I heard. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you, and I wish I could smile at you and that you could see it, see the emotion in my eyes. We can only, imagine it right now, but the emotion in our eyes is the same emotion in our eyes that we would see if we look in the mirror as well. We are all literally listening. Yeah, Nova, like you think people are like, oh, Nova is saying something. And then, okay, it seems like Melt stopped talking, and then they listen again. Literally, everybody, dude, everybody has been listening. And like that's something you have to be very aware of, Brother Bear, because I believe it's valuable to share these things. But it's also very important for us to take into consideration other people's feelings, what they've been through, potential things that could, recreate a sense of tension inside them as well, crack them up, if you will. Everybody is listening. Heartbreaking from me. There he is, Jumpin' Jack Jumanji. How nice to have you here. You are supposed to be here because you are here. Exactly, friend. Exactly. You know, when it goes that way pretty much wherever you are into infinitude. You are where you're supposed to be always. Always, always, always. And things happen for a reason. Like last night, I was thinking, you know, oh, I should have made this investment decision. And then I imagined a reality in which I did make that investment decision, and I saw how that investment decision influenced my life. And because of that investment decision, I had excess, capital. And because I had excess capital, I made different decisions. And because I made those different decisions, I never started doing this. And I was like, goodness, I'm so happy I'm not financially abundant. And that was like a thought. I was like, that's something is interesting to be grateful for. I appreciate you letting us see the goofy geeses. Thank you, Jovan. Like, I don't know why they do it. Like, maybe it's exercise, but they get so like dramatic. I'm down a bit in my back. I called in to work today, so I'm stretching in bed, listening to my light buddy, planning my attack on this day. Do you do yoga, Uncle Becky? Like, me and Ryan have been showing up consecutively for these yoga sessions that are being posted, or the Zoom link is being posted on the Discord as well. We would love to have you there, Brandon, if you can make it. I don't know if it's too early. To think we are not listening is a trauma you have in and of itself. Everybody is listening, dude. Like, nobody cannot listen. Maybe everybody is hearing. Sometimes we don't want to listen. But you are listened to, friend. You are very much listened to. I mean, I wouldn't be, experiencing what I'm experiencing and sharing with you what I'm sharing with you if I wasn't listening to what you were saying. And especially since I'm listening from a perspective of I've been there. So, like, upon reading your words, I go through that trauma myself as well. And other people hearing those words, if they went through something similar, they go through that trauma as well. No, not in the way, Meltmore. Wow, I guess the fact that everyone was listening makes me realize I can be stronger than I think in the way that I can open up to others. Dear Lord, I still have no friends. If you keep saying that, you're gonna keep believing it, Nova. I have so many friends. I, Thank you for all my friends. Beautiful universe. That makes me feel fucking great, dude. Versus, I have no friends. That doesn't make me feel good. Does it make you feel good, Nova? Like, ask yourself that. Is love true in that statement? I don't have any friends. I love it, but not actively doing yoga. I do have a farm kitty on my chest. Hello, Ma. Welkom terug. What else is on? I do have a farm kitty on my chest, purring though. I mean, that is a yoga in itself, Uncle Becky. My understanding of yoga has expanded so much after having started talking to Brother Ryan, where just, you being in that space, being gentle, catering to that little being is in and of itself a yoga as well. Everyone here is my friend now, whether you know it or not. There we go, Nova. Now that's a good mindset to have, don't you think? Kitty kitty gree, giving you some healing purrs. I feel that way exactly. Literally exactly. So happy you attempt to leave this world. Didn't work, Melt. We are lucky to have you. I'm happy to still be here. Kelly, I'm genuinely happy to still be here. And in that, moment, I I realized, I was shown that I'm supposed to be here. And every single time I have experiences that makes me feel like I'm not here, it just brings me back to the understanding that we're supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here because you tried committing suicide. You've survived because you're supposed to be. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it, genuinely. Like, we're here. We're here, friends. Like, that in and of itself is such a surreal concept. The fact that you are here instead of not here. And I'm not meaning in the stream. I mean in this existence, in life right now. I'm a little human being here, but at least I have a space where I can feel like I'm a little human being here, but at least I have a space where I can feel like I'm not a little human being, that is. Thank you, Meltmore, for making this special space for us friends. Thank you, Nova, for being willing to be in it, friend, for being willing to see yourself as more than just your traumas, more than just your body, more than just your habits, more than just your thoughts, more than just your job, more than all of it. Infinite, 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 genuinely infinite, friend. And by taking on this understanding of infinity within ourselves, believing that for ourselves, we live more infinite lives, literally expansive lives. Some believe that cat lay on your chest and purr to extract bad energy, and then they sleep it off. Hmm. I mean, they do have the 9 lives, dude. So I guess they can take some damage. Melt Stream is a wee bit depressing today. A little bit, Ninja Peach. A little bit, and it's, like the Meltmore that I want to be. Talking about yesterday's stream, really doesn't like it. That's the part of me that gets angry. It's like, no, no, freaking depressing. Some believe, I've read it on. Some say dogs lick your wounds. Yeah, they can also actually. Technically, they have antibacterial spits. You can technically do the same as well. I just want to take a moment to send love and huge hugs to all of you, squeezing the crap out of you until you feel the love. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ninja Peach. I'll post the article. Please do. Please, please do. Maybe on like the information station. I feel the negative energy. I feel like I made it by saying all of that stuff. It's okay, Nova. It's okay, friend. The space, doesn't shy away from anything. We embrace all. But we do try to choose, we try to choose love is true. Ask yourself, is love true when I share this? Is other people going to be like, I feel loved, I feel loving? And if you answer yourself no, then reconsider. The measure of a great craftsman is how fast they can fix their own mistakes. I like that, Dorian. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bear. It's so nice to have you here in the space. I remember talking to you. It's nice to have you here. Ram Ram Hare Krishna. Ram Ram. Isn't Ram Hare Krishna? Love to you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Hare Krishna to you as well. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Same to everyone who needs a little boost of confidence. You are on the direction you're going. It's all the way it's supposed to be. Thank you for being here and for who you are. Thank you for sharing that, Talia. Like, I hope that your friends listen to that and believe it, at least for a second, that you're supposed to be here in this life, that you are supposed to be the way you are, be it on a bodily level, be it on a fitness level, be it on a whatever, and that you can use all of these things, all of these, gifts that you've been given, an infinite amount of gifts that you've been given to do whatever it is you need to be doing. And if you need to go inward right now, spend time with yourself, heal, vegetate if you need to continue, then do that. If you want to, burst out and burst out of the cracks and start to grow a new shell, then you need to, like we're these beings that have infinite potential, and how we, orient ourselves, the things we focus our minds on becomes our reality. Meltmore, I have news you might not like, but every time I see your dog, I think of the name Popo. Okay. Why Popo? Her name is Pippi, so it's not that far off, actually. You brighten my you brighten my every day, just so you know. Mine too, genuinely. Like, especially with the rainbow hearts, it just adds a little bit of extra spice, extra loves. Makes me happy. For your week says it's all part of the horrifying beauty and the perfection of this place. Even our desire to change it. All of it, friend. It's perfectly perfect. You're so right. Hi again, Loose Reporter. It's nice to have you here, friend. I think cracks are texture. They're proof that there's multiple layers beyond what we can perceive. I like that so much, Talia. Thank you, Aunt B. Not feeling better, but I'm not feeling worse either, so I'm gonna count that as a win. Yeah. Hope you and your beautiful family are doing well today. The Dorian, what's been going on, friend? Are you sick? Has something happened? There is no time to spend. I mean, you're technically the creator of time, friend. So, yeah. Speak of just nothing. Speak of just noting? Nothing? Speak of just nothing. I'm missing it a little bit, Ninja Peach. I know, friend. I do agree. But I believe I'm in my flower stage right now instead of already a ripe pumpkin. You know, you don't die when you breathe your last breath. You're dying right now. Like this process, living your entire life, dying your entire life, and then breathing your last breath is just the finality of that. So I believe that I'm still, in that growth process, actively trying to, crack the ground I'm growing out from, get even deeper in there. I like the way you think, friend. We're here. Kiddos aren't quite all smiles, and Uncle Becky is down on his back this morning, but we'll do what we can with what we have, where we are. Thank you, Aunt B. Are you gamer? No, not really. I don't consider myself a gamer anymore. I've played like at most 100 hours of games in the last year. No, I did play a little bit of Control, and I think I have like 20 hours. So maybe like at most 120 hours this entire year. You were a single grape, now you have friends, other grapes growing with you. I like that one. I do like that one. I'm trying to, consolidate it into a neat little package, but I'm just gonna say I like it. Thank you, Nova. Morning, Uncle Becky. Are you? No insurance for my brother. His wages are pretty low, and to begin, I'm sure everything will work out as it should. Absolutely, my friend. As it always does. I made that up. I imagined it. Oh, that's what we do, dude. Thank you for sharing it with me. Thank you for not just keeping it in your mind. Bipolar says bored fun. All the above. ADHD. Are you trying to label me? The high is so high and the low, damn. I'm missing a little bit of what you're trying to say, friend. Like your comments go bipolar, all the above. The high is so high and the low, damn. Like I would love to co-create with you, friend. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. This is not a joke. There's a local dog groomer in our town called Doggy Style. Guess her tactic worked because she's always booked out. I mean, that is pretty funny, Like if I'm gonna have to use someone as my dog groomer, the one that's gonna be the most memorable will probably be that one. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Me too. We worked on paperwork for disability and the transplant list currently. They said it takes a while, and by the time it's in place, he will be really needing ASAP defibrillator in the meantime. Like, does he have one close by and he has to restart his heart on B? And is it something that is genetic, that's like going as in the family? Because I know that you also had heart troubles, earlier in your life. Is it something that happens to your parents as well? Point of view. You're watching the life slowly drain from Melt's face. Melt, I'm sending you some of my energy. Oof. Friend, streamer, therapist. Not Goose Whisperer. Ninja Peace, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Like cracks everywhere. But I feel it's so beautiful because even if I'm faulty, even if I'm faltering, if I'm cracking and succumbing to the cracks, that can be a lesson in and of itself. Maybe at first I was a sour grape, and now I'm a sweet grape. Hermias Fleur. Hermias freaking Fleur. Purple little grape you are, Nova. Anyone want to play NTW? I don't know what that is, but I probably just, bamboozled myself by asking. When someone takes my venting as bitching, I try to explain, I'm just noting, oh, okay, I get you. Thank you. Like, never feel like you're bitching. Because, if I had to feel like I'm bitching, I'd probably just be bitching all the time. People without a lot of people without a lot of misinformation or no information on meditation think of it as sitting there doing nothing or relaxing. Not in a good way though, like laziness. Yeah, education. Like the reason you meditate is to grow that muscle of awareness. Like you are fundamentally aware, underlying everything else. And by meditating, you're giving your mind a chance to actually focus on that awareness. You're giving yourself an opportunity to think about all of the things that you've been putting off, and you get to unpack them in a genuine, constructive way. You're not doing nothing. Like no, you can't. It's impossible for you to do nothing. Your body is literally billions, trillions of things actively doing stuff. You cannot do nothing. Was my story that dark? Yeah, Nova. Yeah, of course. Did you read it? Lamar, that's amazing. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a movie where the characters are able to delete the memories that hurt them. So when I say I want to eternal sunshine someone, I just want to take away their pain. Thank you for, giving me that perspective, Kelly. I didn't understand it at all, but now I do. I appreciate that. But the doctor has offered his personal time for the actual procedure. Okay, that is amazing. Like just that. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Auntie. That's beautiful. I just realized my stomach pain was gone for quite a while now. It's here again, but not as bad. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You were so present that your body didn't have to remind you to be present. And then as soon as you dropped out of that presence, here comes the pain. It's like, hey, oh, where are you going? You were just here. Why are you somewhere else now? Why are you in your past? Why are you projecting into the future? Stay here. Stay here, Nova. Thank you for the energy, Ninja Peach. Genuinely smart ass. You know what I meant. Get a shaggy mouth there. Thank you, Lisa. I'm happy. I'm very happy, and it was kind of funny. I had to lean into it a little bit. Did you smoke weed? I haven't smoked weed in 4 days, friend. I haven't smoked weed in 4 days, and I feel really clear. I feel like maybe a little bit too clear. Like I'm a little bit anxious, like a little bit. I'm going to start a Reddit talk book purchase party for Sinsane in an hour. Going to try and trigger the best-selling algorithm. You do that, Uncle Becky. Like, I'm not sure if there is an algorithm for Reddit talks, but if you can, dude, if anybody can, it would be Uncle Becky. Want to hear a joke? I'm down for a joke. Labels. I was given the label major depressive, bipolar, and ADD, and I was only when they told me these things did I ever feel like I had them. Labels. I'm happy that you're also as anti-label as I am, Mariah. Oh, goodness. Freaking labels everywhere. Thank you for the wholesome, Nicholas. Nova. You've got 38 friends on Reddit right now. Look at that, dude. 38 friends. Like, just imagine 38 friends in your space, dude. That's bonkers. Not Reddit talk algorithm, but Amazon algorithm. Oh, okay. I think that's even better. Well, I was diagnosed with ADHD at 14, and I had to take my meds after not socializing for a year. That was a bit of a nightmare. It's not a very funny joke, Nova. Yes, love you, friend. Purchase party for Uncle. I believe it's $4. I think the ebook is $4, and I wanted to buy the paperback, but it's $14 in shipping and import costs to buy the book. And then I was like, okay, guess I'm gonna bite the bullet. And then I realized that I can't use PayPal, and I don't have money in my bank account, and I cannot transfer the money in the PayPal to my bank account because my bank account doesn't allow that. So it's been a bit spicy, it's been a bit spicy. Exactly, Javon. Yes, there we go. What the dog doing? She's not here right now, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, friend. I'm sorry. Probably being her loving self. If we all buy Sinsane's book in the same hour, it greatly increases the chances of Sinsane getting the Amazon bestseller sticker. Okay. So, would one of you friends be willing to send me a coupon? Amazon coupon, and then I'll give you the money on PayPal, because I tried to buy a coupon with my PayPal account, and for some reason it took me automatically to the Australian website, and then that was like a whole issue as well because I'm not in Australia. I am genuinely excited to hear more. Genuinely, Sinsane has a book. Excellent. He did. Well, does technically a book about overcoming. What's the word he used? I think you'll have to go and check, Martian. Thank you for asking. Overcoming, not bipolar. It's like a heavy word. Man, like I hope Sinsane, might come in and educate us. I also posted on Reddit for anyone to come subscribe to your YouTube. You're on the verge of 1,000. I am. I've been on the verge of 1,000 for a while now. You probably already have the required 4,000 hours, just need 1,000 subscribers. I unfortunately don't, and it only counts for a year, Uncle Becky. So I would have, but because we're now into the new year, they take my watch hours. So I'm like, nice, that's sick. And also, Reddit lives don't count for watch hours. So like every single YouTube live stream will have 8-9 hours of watch time, but I just don't get any of it because it's live, which also kind of sucks. But well, like it is what it is. We're, we're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for love, Uncle Becky. Eventually things might change, but for now, we're going to be here. I love you, Brother Bear. So right now, we are waiting for a specific time. If anyone missed it, he read the first chapter on Live Talk, and it's recorded on Haywire Hill. That's right. Yes, gave me the PTSD label too. Freaking labels. We'll be purchasing in 2 hours. But confirm right now. I love you, Nova. I am your friend. There we go. Heather is also your friend now, Nova. If you're not already, would you all mind going to subscribe to Baltimore's YouTube? The quality is excellent and truly helps. Thank you, Brother Bay. I appreciate it. I'm not too concerned. Like I remember last year, at the start of the year, setting this intention to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I never really. I asked, I think, for the first 2 months, and I think in the first 2 months we gained like 700 subscribers, and then I just stopped asking because I realized it's not what's important to me. Like money was never something that's important to me. You should write a book about the cup called Hermes Blur. I'm writing a book called The Divinity Meter already, so maybe afterwards. Nova. YouTube management. There we go. Love being shared. Uncle Becky is creating an event for a purchase party. Thank you so much. Like, do let me know. One of your friends would be willing to help me with an Amazon coupon, and I can send you the money through PayPal. Insane was saying noon is time, but we are confirming now, and we'll post on our and Mel's Discord and the sub. Yes, we will. Thank you, Aunt B. Complete with live talk, so we can visit and have a minute. What do you do for work? This is what I do for work, friend. I mean, I do a bunch of other stuff. I write and I bake and I grow things and I, do general upkeep of my environment. But this is my primary job, friend. Thank you for asking. Yes, the YouTube links. Thank you, Jovan, for tagging the YouTubes. In my opinion, if you live life in any way, you are going to experience some type of PTSD. Nobody gets it easier than another perspective. You're completely right, Mariah. And I genuinely have some serious. You know what? No, I don't have serious anything. This freaking mosquito, asshole. Like they're so small. Like I know I have big hands. Let's do this. They're so small and they itch for days. Days. Like look at this. That I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. That was a mosquito bite. Where in the middle of the night I scratch myself to the point where I'm like, there's no more skin, and I'm still scratching. I used to not have any skin, but that healed now, fortunately. But days of freaking itching. Why mosquitoes? Why are you so rude, dude? So freaking rude. Much love to you all. If anyone needs to talk, I'm free. We all have ups and downs, different size hills. The important thing is that we hold hands on this roller coaster. Couldn't agree more, Heather. Like we're all going through our own frequencies, and I believe the more of us there are, the more stability that's going to be reached, on a base level, where there will always be someone who could support us, who might be in a upswing as we're going into our downswing. I don't think the money is so much as the sustainability and to reach your message to the world. Thank you, Uncle Becky. I look forward to it, and I believe it's going to happen, but I'm not rushing. I feel it's so important for us to be able to have these moments. And I'm already having a hard time keeping up with comments, dude. So I'm stressing. I am stressing because what are we going to do if every single stream gets 100,000 views? Every single stream gets 2,000 comments. I'm stressing. Like there's a big part of myself that worries. I feel like it was kind of labeled with ADD. See, but the meds don't make me feel high and concentrate. But I feel like there the mosquito bite starts to itch. But I do. Well said, Heather. Genuinely. I'm just confused about it. Everyone tells me I have ADD, but I feel like I don't have it. Don't believe them, Nova. Like, why? So, there's this beautiful Marcus Aurelius quote that goes, "We all love ourselves more than we love others, but we value others' opinions more than we value ourselves, to the point where if a divine being or a very wise person instructed us to loudly, out loud rather, say every single thought or imagination we had, we wouldn't make it through the day. That is how little we value our own opinions." I know. Why do you value these people's opinions? If they're being inflammatory, if they're trying to reduce you, why are you listening to them? You know your body, brain better than anyone else. Literally, literally, Mariah. Nobody can tell you whatever. Nobody can tell you anything. You are 100% control, and if not, you are in 100% control of it. Not no matter what, no matter what. Thank you. You're completely right, Mariah. 100%. I have YouTube. I had the account for years. It's never let me comment, so I just watch. I don't know why that is, Heather. I'm sorry, my friend. I don't know if it like couldn't be a location thing. The defibrillator will be implanted under his skin in his chest. We have had everyone in the family tested for heart disease and malfunctions, and it's been a mixed bag. I'm the only one with my discuss disease? Discus disease. Okay. I guess that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing that others don't have it. I'm sorry that you did, on B. The first thing that it reminds me of is just, how strong you are. Just like, yeah, life is like, yeah, this one is way too strong. We have to, on B, you're so loved, my friend. I feel like I do have ADD, but I don't have ADD. It's been a back and forth for years, from thinking I'm lazy to just not caring about it or anything. I think I do have it. I still have doubts. My friend, laziness is not a character trait. It is something that covers your character. It's something that reduces your ability to live into your full character. And it's something that, can plague us all. You think, therefore you are. There we go. There we go, Mariah. You are the creator of your reality, Nova. If you're experiencing things right now in a certain way, it's because you've created it to be that way. And it can feel very insensitive to say stuff like that sometimes. But I've had such a sheer and surreal relationship with that, where I tell myself horrible things about myself. I hate other people. I'm angry and lashing out at the world. And then, alongside with that, I am extremely upset. I do not enjoy being alive. And if I stop doing that, then I start to enjoy being alive. And it's to this point where I cannot pretend like it isn't that way. I can't pretend that for myself. I can't pretend that way for other people. And it makes me feel unsympathetic sometimes. But I can see it. I can literally see it. I just It's just that ever since I was a kid, I experienced that type of shit related to it in ways. Dude, we're distracted being. Every single human being can be distracted. If you're sitting and concentrating on a thing and someone walks into the room and goes, and that person looks at you, they're distracted. It doesn't mean they have anything. It doesn't mean they have anything. It's just that's a human being. That's just what human beings do. We get distracted by things. They're trying to label that and be like, oh, there's something wrong with me because I'm a human being. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Squeezing your hand. Whee! People that consider you venting as bitching are typically the people that feel as though you're asking them to fix their problems. They don't understand that the simple act of listening is gift enough. That's a beautiful point, Heather. And I feel like I can sometimes be responsible for that as well. Or guilty of that as well, I think is the right word. Thank you. Thank you so much for that reminder, Heather. Mm. Peach and I will have to go shortly. My vampire, my mom is on her way to see Marley. Have a good time. Thank you so much for joining us, Ninja. Like, I think no, the stream would end soon, but no, it doesn't seem that way. Oh, you look great from the PC. Never watched from here. Instant cringe. Thank you, Uncle Becky. Like, I now when you mentioned it, I was like, do I? How do I look? Oh yeah, oh, I have eyes. Look at that. Seems my beard is growing again. It's an Amazon algorithm. Thank you for letting me know as well, Aunt B. Hey, Armand! He always looks great, bro. Armand van Nikak. This dude. Like, this dude was the OG of believing in me. Like, genuinely. And like, I'm not trying to, make less of you friends believing in me as well. But Armand was the very first person in this journey of content creation that was willing to support me financially. At the start of last year, I wanted to stream from my PC and I couldn't afford, a capture card. And I shared that with him. And he was like, you know what, dude? I'm willing to send you money so you can buy this capture card so you can stream. And that moment is still so real to me that he, had this insight to believe in me. Thank you, Armand. He lives in New Zealand. That's the friend when I tell you about the friend in New Zealand that I want to go and visit. That's him. Not in the way of being distracted, just not paying attention and being treated like an idiot by my teachers and not focusing on what I should. Almost repeated year 4, and I never handed in homework. I forgot. Meltmore, are you tired? Yeah, Nova. I'm a little bit tired, friend. I've been streaming for almost 2.5 hours. And it's been a pretty intense stream with my emotional damage. I love you, Melt. Oh, I love you, Nova. I love you, friends. Have an amazing day. Embrace your magic. Thank you. Embrace the cracks, Mariah. Embrace the cracks in life as well. I love you so much. Thank you for being here with me. Send love to those boys. Sweet Heather, I feel drained. Me too, Nova. Very much so. Sweet Heather, love this. So grateful for you. The same applies to me. Someone, should anyone, need a shoulder, I currently have lots of time. My energy is plentiful, and I'm always happy to share space. Kelly, thank you so much for opening that window for us to throw rocks into. I love you so much. Oh, bless. Soak in the good and release what isn't. There we go. Melt into yourself. What you want, melt out of yourself what you don't. Oh, hello. I finally caught one of your streams. How are you? Ali writes, I'm vibing, friend. I'm feeling all of the vibes right now, If the infinity waves, infinity loops, I've been like, through a few of them. Melt into Ermia's blur. Thank you, Nova. Thank you so much for that. Genuinely. The paperback is $10, but the ebook is like $4, and we can have it on your phone, no shipping. That's what I was thinking as well, but I want to buy the paperback because I believe that there is something, beneficial to that as well. You don't need to do that, Heather, but thank you, my friend. Are you Trap? Yes, friend. I'm Trap. Like, I'm gonna make you fall in love with me. And then it turns out I'm actually a guy. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, but it has to happen, friend. Or absorb Ermia's blur. Doesn't matter. Either way, you get a hit of that. Of that blur. Get a hit of that blur. Thank you, Nova. That that Hermes. I can buy you the book, Mal. Put it on your Amazon wishlist and send me a link. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. We'll order your. I just need your email. You friends, like I literally, Joe Biden, Mel is getting $4. Just like, let me know if you have any trouble. Hysterical laughter. Lord, give me strength. Going to be a lot of releasing. But thank you so very much for being the amazing person you are. Thank you, Nova, for being your amazing self, regardless of what you're going through as well. I also like to hold and feel the books. Same. It's gonna be like a 9,000 word book, so it won't be that thick, I guess. It's gonna be like a pamphlet almost, but it's definitely gonna be worth reading. Psychosis. I think that's the word he used. I think it's psychosis. Overcoming psychosis. The entire book. My eyes be on the phone for long enough to read an entire book. Almost 1K subs. There's so many souls with you, Melt. Holy cow. I'm so grateful to be with you, friends. It's such an honor. It's such an honor. Infinities, multiple infinities. Like, it can be so easy for us to get caught up in the numbers, but one person, if there's only one person here with me, that is an infinity. My amazing self is not sure what you mean, but I'll take it. Did I say something that was open for interpretation? Send Christian my regards. Thank you, Mariah. Christian, man, like we had a podcast now on Saturday, and we have a phone call beforehand, and he's like, Melt, I'm gonna have to tell you something that you don't want to hear. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, but I'm not gonna tell you over the phone. I go, oh, okay. So now there's just this freaking real estate that he's taking up in my brain of something that he wants to tell me. And he explicitly tells me that I'm not gonna like it. So I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna think about it. I think I know what it is. He's gonna move, like he's moving from South Africa. And I know he's gonna viciously regret it, but I'm gonna support my friend nonetheless. The post is on Haywire, he'll sub and has the link. Thank you again, Aunt B. I love a paper bag. Just a thought. When we aren't busy, you can play Mel's YouTube on our phones, but it's charging HC. We're cleaning. Heather, that would help. Honestly, it does help. It makes a big difference. But I appreciate you so much for even considering it. Thank you, genuinely. Kind of talk where he reads the first chapter in the link book in the chat. So he's gonna read the first chapter again on P, or is that the one from the previous time? Rubbing alcohol helps with mosquito bites, usually. Ali, thank you. I'll remember that. There's phlegm in throat. Not anymore, I guess. Great idea. Hey, Ali. Mosquito bites itch because there's saliva as a chemical in it that everyone is allergic to. Yeah, it's basically an anti-coagulator. It stops your white platelets from forming a clot to try and stop the injury. So it like injects that little chemical, and then it keeps the area around it kind of liquid, but it literally eats your flesh away to do that. And then your body kind of tries to repair it, and it's, as you're saying, something you're allergic to. It's disgusting. Assholes, absolute assholes, dude. I'm just getting battered with cracks all around. I have to trigger that watch hours before they will start recommending, because I know once they recommend the videos, you will gain viewers like crazy. It's true. It is true, Heather. I know that as well. And it's like, you're completely right. The first 1,000 subscribers are the hardest to get. But I'm scared. I'm scared. I am scared because I already feel like I can't be as present as I want to be. I can't give as much as I want to, you friends as individuals. So what is going to happen if there's even more to give to? We literally signed at the same time. Synchronicities are real today. Giving everyone love back again and again until you feel it. I feel it. I feel it, Ninja Peach. Thank you. Thank you for continuing sending that love. Is this book for sale? I'll buy it. It is. I think it's on Amazon right now. After the stream melt, you need to go scream to the top of your lungs in the field and maybe kick a tree. No. I would just kick the air, maybe. I wouldn't want to kick a tree. I mean, he probably wouldn't get hurt. Just be like, what's dunk? Like a little thud. Like, what's that? I would hurt myself probably. Purchase party in 1 hour. There we go. We'll borrow this. I need to head out, but the stream seems fun. Hopefully I can check it in again soon. I hope so as well, Ali. It would be a pleasure to have you here again. Sending love from Texas. Fosh, it's nice to have you here again, friend. It's been a while. Thank you for joining us. Last Danger Girl says, sometimes you need someone to put a mirror in front of your face. Sometimes that mirror is you, Last Danger Girl. Thank you for reflecting that back to me, friend. I would rather pick berries and eat than thank you very much. Is there a physical book? If anyone wants to send me a link to purchase it, I'd be happy to purchase. Unfortunately, we have to get going shortly. It's completely okay. Ninja Peach, we've been streaming for like 2 hours and 24 minutes. It's been a long one, and you've been here for so much of it. Thank you for every single second of your time. Thank you, genuinely. All right, peeps, I gotta get going for my day. I hope you're all having an infinitely wonderful time. I love you, all of you. Nova too. You're such a wonderful being. Thank you for existing with the energy you're vibing on. How about that, Nova? You're so loved, my friend. Picking berries and eating them. Thank you very much. I found once I stopped putting my problems out into the world, they stopped being so noticeable and eventually went away once I focused on the good. For me too, Ninja Nanner. And I wish more people would understand that for themselves as well, because it's after you've experienced that for yourself, it becomes so clear. You're like, oh, obviously, and obvious, it's so clear. But if you haven't experienced it as such, it's very difficult. I have no idea why people are saying this, but thanks, friend. You're loved, Nova. If you for a second thought, you know what, I'm not actually a loved person. Now you cannot. Never again. You hear me, Nova? Never, 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 never again. Can you believe that you're not loved? I have been doing this on days I miss the stream or just want more, but it feels also voyeurist voyeuristic. I don't know what that word means. Please teach me, Kelly. It's beautiful. It's beautifully organic, but for us being here together, but watching after felt different. It could have been the episode very emotional. Like I feel, and I believe this. This space is something that is now permanent, in mind, in my heart, and in this universe. Because I'm showing up consecutively for it, this momentum is being gained. And I believe the old streams have the same energy of that presence, If you find yourself even in the stream watching it back, you can still be present with that. Paperback, here's the link. There we go. GPF, one decision at a time, recovery method to start living. Thank you so much, Jovan, for adding that link as well. Thank you, friend. The count is here. Love you, Ninja Nanner. Love you, Ninja Peach. Love you, Ninja Cup. Have a good one. I was this because of my sob story. I don't know, but at least I know I can be loved. You can. No, that's the takeaway, friend. You can be loved, very much so. Still here. Hi, guys. Still so nice to have you here, Katie. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Genuinely. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Gatefish. Stop, enjoy the day. Thank you for the silver, Brandon. I am indeed. Hope the same for you and Uncle Becky. Thank you, Fash. We appreciate you being here, friend. Uncle Becky down on his back. But the silver lining is I get him for the day. There we go, Anbino. That's the attitude we want to perpetuate. Sending good thoughts for a quick recovery. Glad y'all get to spend the day together. Same Fash. Nice to meet you, Armand. Thank you for believing in our friend Melt. Perhaps you saw what we all see. We are also lucky to have him in our lives. As I'm lucky to have you, Heather. Genuinely. Thank you so much, my friend. Like before I started today's stream, I went onto an old stream and I saw your comments, that you commented afterwards, after it was finished. Thank you. I see you as well, my friend. Isaac with a random note. But to that stress you have of too many comments when your space grows too vast to handle alone, maybe instead of expanding your one stream platform, maybe expand with more people who can host a space for more time slots. Like what I envisioned, Isaac, is almost like a mod team that can cater, all of the messages that absolutely have to be read gets brought to the forefront, and I can read those first, if you will. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm straight up tripping out. The way you expand, but to a larger time frame, still able to give the attention, just trust your heart and light. It won't lead you astray. I'm trying to do that, Isaac. I'm just trying to be present. And you friends are what's most important to me. And the last thing I want is to make you friends feel like that importance is falling off, because that would never be the case. Laughing out loud after Mel clears his throat. The look on his face. Heather, I'm happy you're feeling into, me or my persona cracking, because like there's awareness of, which is always, and I try to be that awareness first and foremost. And then there's ego, which is melt more. And then there is the things I say, the things I do, the way I behave, that is persona. And because the ego is being perturbed, kind of like being abrasive, the persona was cracking a little bit. I feel like I manipulated people somehow. Damn, I feel like the story is not so bad. I don't know. Ermias Blur. My friend, you are creating your own reality. What you think is your reality. You know, if you're like, oh, people are only loving me because I manipulated them, then that is what you're believing. And if you believe that, then you believe that. So don't believe that. And I know it's easier said than done. But please, friend, you know, you're worth more than that. Laughing aloud. Have a good day. Thank you, Luis Reporter. I hope you have a good one as well. Thank you for the heartwarming. Fash, you did it not. You're having super. You did it. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, 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 bum. Freaking Rocky, just keep running up that stairs, yo. Never stop. Never stopping. Purchase party live. I'm gonna try and be there. Like my mom and my, sister and my brother is back. So I usually spend time with them after stream, but thank you, friend. A mod team is a great idea. I think so as well, Lisa. I think so as well. Like I wish there was the option, like there is, within like Twitch, for example, the option to whisper amongst one another. So if friends want to, send love to one another, they can do so without feeling like they'll take up too much space. Like I'm thinking back to yesterday with Aiden feeling like he wants to send love to everyone, but doesn't want to take too much space within the stream. Twitch already figured that out, and I love Reddit. I genuinely do, and I think it is the future. That's why we chose this platform. That's why we use this platform. But it's slow. It's so slow, and Reddit doesn't care about us like the people do. The mod teams. Lisa, for example, Dora, they care about us, but corporate Reddit is a little bit cold right now. Woo! Woo! Just want to get a little bit of ridiculousness out of me. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here in this moment with me, for bearing with me as I crack up, as I break down, as I burst into pieces. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Okay, it's unfair to me to believe people and their words are lies. How could I think that? I know they see something. If they say I can't assume they are lying, it's wrong, it's not nice. I don't think it's nice either, Nova. But how do you feel about it? You're the one that's feeling into it. You're the one that's creating that stimulus. You are the node through which all that information flows. Eyes, ears, mouth, nose, ability to touch, ability to perceive, the consolidation of all of those things. You're the one creating all of that, and it can be something you can feel very egocentric about, I guess. But you are literally the god of your reality, Nova. Without you here, the experience of Nova is not here. You were asking in the context of the cell, of the neurons, thinking like the brain is the god. No. Infinity loops, dude. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm just drained at this point. I'm being honest. Me too, dude. You've been beating the shit out of me, Nova. Straight up, just like. And I'm here with you. I'm pretty strong myself, so I'm not opposed to it. Look at this. Look at this dude. You see that? That is a tick waiting for me. It's like this dude is gonna put his foot in this thing, and then I'm gonna mess his shit up. No, you're not, though. No, you're not. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, tick. Ain't gonna crack my skin. That's not the way. Either we have a personal group chat to catch up or hang out if you don't want that 100 people, have hundreds of people every time. Heather, I want all of you friends. That is what's important to me, and I believe that as we go into the future, technology is going to equip us more and more so to actually do what it is we're doing more effectively. But there's a bunch of stuff that still needs to happen. And I believe that we're growing at the rate we are, and I don't want to accelerate it for that reason, so that when it's time, we'll actually be able to do it the way we're supposed to. I'm ready to melt into Ermias Plur. Do that, Nova. I just saw 333. Go and look up what that means, friend. Go and look up what that means. The divine masculine, friend, wants to come out in you. Haywire Hill is looking for mods. If anyone is interested, Uncle Becky, myself, and Red are strapped by ourselves. I can only imagine, like, you have done so much already, Aunt B. Thank you, friends. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way, Heather. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Let's go and support Insane. How about that? Hello, help. Josh. Jossie Rain Ford. Hello, friend. Sorry for, ending the stream just as you tuned in. But thank you for joining us, my friend. After seeing the number appear in your day-to-day life so consistently, to start to doubt that it's just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's a synchronicity, Nova. You were living in a way so that you could notice that. Damn, after doubting myself. Yeah, dude. Like, I've been seeing 333 as well a lot. Like this morning, I set a meditation timer for 333 as well. I would like to be a part of the pre-mod group, but it's one line of love action before we ban them. I feel so as well. Like, I wish we had more control. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, right now, we have very limited control in these spaces, unfortunately. I'm not sure if anyone I'm not sure if I know enough, Aunt B, but I'd consider if you don't already have someone in mind, please, Heather. We would love you friends to help. There we go. We have so many friends willing to help. Jovan as well. Would it be easier if you send you cash? Not classy to discuss monies in public, but not sure I'll catch you in the DMs before you head over to the hill. Like, the problem isn't, the capital to buy the book, Kelly. It's because it's an American site and I find myself in South Africa and I have a South African bank account. Like, that is what the problem is in my PayPal. For some reason, Amazon doesn't accept PayPal. You're so sweet, genuinely. Thank you, friend. Our goal is not to ban anyone unless it's really necessary. Temporary bans are more of a in-the-moment protection of the current stream. I agree completely, especially if there is, the intention to share inflammatory comments. Like, I've shared this, intention with Ryan as well. Like, we have multiple times turned a hater into a friend, and that is, I think, one of the most beautiful things as well, that's even possible. 333, there's still work to do. For example, you might find yourself regularly having negative thoughts, which hinders your spiritual growth. How about that, Nova? How do you feel about that, Fred? You see, that's a trip. That's a trip. Even if it means nothing, even if it's a coincidence, that's a message the universe just sent you, friend. You're so sweet. Genuinely. Thank you so much. Gotcha. Just send me the link to your Amazon wishlist. Thank you. Kelly, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for being willing. Our goal is not to ban. Typically, the folks needed to be banned need love the most. I don't want the one to say if anyone is worthy. I agree completely. I'm thinking about this Marcus Aurelius quote that I read today as well. In the nature, in the context, in the spirit of the best revenge is to not do what they did to you. So, take that as an opposite then. The best way to treat someone who is sending hate is to send them love. Short guidelines we post are very useful. Yeah, there are the in-house rules even. If it means that I felt just then, exactly. Even if it means what you felt just then, that's what it's supposed to mean to you. And that's how I see, synchronicities as well in my life. I see so many synchronicities. Like, I'll go as far as to say like 10 to 15 a day, and some of them will stand out more than others. And then I'll actually go and read what this one is supposed to mean, and then I'll be with that message, even though it could be completely broad spectrum. I'll still be willing to receive some information. Friends, beloved ones, thank you for being in this moment with me. I think this is one of the longer streams that we've done, throughout this entire journey. And how appropriate that I didn't crack! No! Cannot be cracked! Cannot be stopped! Love will be true, no matter what. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Let's go and share some love with Insane. Hey, give me some pippies like, what? What's going on here? Love you, Fred, so much. I'll see you again soon, technically, and tomorrow, of course. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Nova, Ermius. Freaking Plur, dude. Love you, Armand, if you're still here. Love you, Mariah, if you're here. Love you, friends, so much.